Now, help me out, Blaster. Transform and play something nice.
And now, a nice and nifty musical selection for easy listening. Hold on to your dancing shoes and go, man, go!
One shall stand, one shall fall.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to One Shall Stand, One Shall Fall, a Transformers TCG podcast broadcasting live from an underground bunker in the middle of the murky Midlands.
I want to boot some Decepticon right in his turbocharger.
Whoa. Calm down, Cliff Jumper. Wow. Seriously, put that gun down. You're going to kill somebody in this studio. Goodness. Right, anyway, I'm your host, Lee, from Bleeped Productions, and today I have a motley crew of people to talk everything about Transformers the TCG. That's right, the trading card game based on the cartoon from the 80s. This podcast will talk about news about the Transformers the TCG, new releases, deck profiles, and stuff that's happening in the community. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy.
One shall stand, one shall fall.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. This is Lee from Bleeped Productions, and today we have another fantastic podcast for you here on Bleeped Productions, the YouTube channel, and the Podbean feed. This is One Shall Stand, One Shall Fall, the one and only Transformers TCG podcast here on the internet. I'm so excited to bring you this special because when you're hearing this, the second season of War for Cybertron would have dropped on Netflix. Now, we've had some issues with YouTube, unfortunately, with putting clips of the actual show into our episode reviews. And we've only done episodes 1, 2, and 3. 1 keeps getting cut down, and 3 keeps getting cut down. 2 is the only one that stood tall through all of it somehow. So what we're going to do is we're going to release it in a podcast form, so you guys can hear the banter and the hilariousness of our review of it. Now, in this review, we have a little bit of banter, I'm not going to lie. We are very abrupt with how we speak about the whole thing. It is censored, certain words, thanks to my good friend D. But what we do is we break down the episodes by telling you, like, the episode, what happened in it, then our thoughts, and then our favorite bits, etc. Now, obviously, there's only X amount of episodes, so it's going to be a bit of a long podcast, but hopefully you guys will enjoy it because we're going to insert audio clips from the episode to make it a little bit more dynamic, and this is why it got taken off YouTube, because of using clips of the actual show, should we say. So in this episode, I am joined by my good friend Ben Cox, my good friend D, and a guy who I love and adore, who doesn't like Transformers, but wanted to be a part of the episode, my good friend Rich. Now, he is the neutral, because he doesn't know any of the characters. So he, is the target audience for people who don't know what Transformers are. And he adds a hilarious insight into this whole review series, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this podcast. It's been an absolute blast putting it together because every time I seem to put up an episode for my Netflix review, it just keeps getting copyright striked and taken down by YouTube. So fingers crossed this won't. And hopefully you guys enjoy it on the audio medium as well as the visual medium, because we're not going to put the clips in. We're only going to add a still and the audio. So fingers crossed that works. So without further ado, take care, have a good one. And yeah, this is episode 15, Transformers War for Cybertron, the Netflix review. And that is the beginning of our first episode.
Seriously, if you just recorded that
No,
word?
we're not going to have what you just spoke about Beast Wars. But guys, welcome to our Netflix overview of Transformers War for Cybertron. with me is an amazing panel. We have 3 ginormous nerds who you've seen on the channel doing
2 are
TCG
ginormous.
stuff. So we've got D, who you know, one of the founding members, and we also have Ben.
Hello.
And then we also have myself, Lee, but we also have the anti-TCG member, and that is my good friend Rich.
Hello.
So, guys, we're going to do an overview series of the Netflix War for Cybertron trilogy. That's right, it's a trilogy. This is the first chapter, and we just watched episode 1. So I'm just going to break down what we're going to be doing in these episodes. So we're going to talk about the plot of the episode, what happened, then our original thoughts, the best bits, and then what we're going to think is going to happen in the next episode. So the first part of this episode was very interesting because it was very nostalgia-esque, because it opens up with Bumblebee not being an Autobot. He's a mercenary, which is actually quite interesting.
He is a cock and a half.
Yes. So to put it blunt, everyone who says, "Oh, I really don't like Bumblebee," this is the show for you.
You know how I survive out here? I don't make noise, and I don't draw attention to myself. Sorry about that. It's called stealth. Try using it before I regret bringing you here.
Because you really don't like
You
Bumblebee.
don't even know who Bumblebee is.
I'm not an Autobot.
So basically, it opens up with Wheeljack and Bumblebee, very similar to what happens with the G1 cartoon. Obviously, they're looking for ENERGON, but obviously, Bumblebee at that time is an Autobot. He's not at the moment.
And a hockey puck yet.
And a hockey puck, yeah.
No.
And Seekers are trying to find them, which is kind of cool. And then, obviously, they get captured. Megatron shows up and is a badass.
I don't care what you want.
Rich, take away.
So, Rich, why do you like or not like Megatron in this? You can say it. I'm going to say it as well. Should we all say it at once after 3? 1, 2, 3.
Lips!
Yeah! The pout.
Like, what is it?
Why
What's going on?
all the other Transformers have faces, but don't have lips?
Megatron's pouting lips. He's got one of those lips where you're just kind of
Raging
like,
bitch face.
I'm going to be really evil, but also I want to smooch your face off.
I
at
want
the
to know
same
who his
time.
plastic
But also,
surgeon is.
Transformers are made of solid metal.
Yes, they are. Yes.
So how do their lips move?
I do not know.
It's a solid faceplate that literally moves.
So everyone's like, why don't they all look like Prime and have a solid faceplate? No, we're gonna give Megatron sexy pouty lips because we need our antagonist to be sexy. So we can't give him boobs. And we can't give him many other things, but
Until we
lips?
get to Elite 1, which
Lips.
Rich, again,
Yes.
take it away with Elite 1 when she pops up.
Yeah. So literally, that's a good pun. That's a
the
great
pink
pun.
robot. That's the
That is
pink
a great
robot.
pun.
What happened with Elite 1?
Perking everybody up. Swing those hips.
Sorry, what was the words that Wheeljack said like with his first
Oh
line?
no! That's coming to the best parts of the first episode because that is one of my favorite lines ever in an animated series. I'm just saying. So anyway, they get captured by the Seekers, who are led by Jetfire at this moment. Who Jetfire is a Decepticon. Obviously, if you watch the G1 things, he starts off being a Decepticon and then becomes an Autobot.
I am an Autobot now.
So the funniest thing about it is they're having this discussion with Bumblebee and all this jazz. Megatron shows up with his pouty lips. They're having this amazing talk, and then obviously Prime shows up. And the funniest thing is when basically Prime shows up, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna beat you. I'm the leader." And then he gets his ass handed to him. So my first thing is going exactly. My first thing is like, this is not the Prime we all know. So this is kind of interesting. And basically he beats him down and goes like, "You weren't built for this, Robo Pussy." Is basically what he wanted to say.
No,
Pretty much.
shit.
Yeah.
Literally Dan from Street Fighter at this point.
Yes, that's a
Right.
great analogy.
It's literally Megatron is Akuma or Ryu.
Yes.
And Prime is Dango. Nyeh.
Before we get into this as well, Starscream gets his hand chopped off at one point, which I was just kind of like, Jamie Lannister, no! No, but that was pretty interesting. But no, it wasn't. Everybody, that was
He got
pretty
it back
interesting.
5 seconds.
He did. He literally did. Bring it
Hold
back.
on, let's go. Rich, what was your thoughts on this episode of Madness?
Oh, we haven't even got through the plot yet before we
Oh,
can
we
ask
got a
this.
plot. We've got a plot.
We've got a plot. We got literally through the first 5-6 minutes.
Oh my God.
So after this, obviously, this was what broke us as well. So Starscream loses his hand. I was like, wow, this is edgy. And then Elita 1, aka as Rich calls her, the perky robot, basically pops some guy's head off with a blaster. And Mom was like, is that Thundercracker? Is that Skywalker? Or is it just a random Seeker? We'll find out soon enough, guys. And then basically, Prime, I think this is how Ben you described it. What does Prime do? As he goes like
he
instead of
literally rising knees someone in the dick and runs off.
so he kicks a Decepticon in the junk, and instead of saying "roll out, we're on wheels," we'll run. So they run, and then obviously after that, you then have Elite One talking, going like, "You shouldn't be doing this. You're our leader."
What was that back there?
I had to move in. Wheeljack only had Astro cycles left.
Not that. The explosives. The idea is to be as far as possible when you blow everything up.
So basically, you get that happens. And then, obviously, you realise why they went out for Energon, because they're actually cloaking the Ark, which I thought was a really cool touch. And then you get introduced to...
You got the touch.
You got the touch. You have the power! So, they needed power. That's why they went out for Energon. And then, basically, you met Ultra Magnus, you met Red Alert, you meet most of the...
Why do you have to bring in all the asswipes first?
But it's literally a handful of them. And that's the most interesting thing for me right now.
There's a handful, and then there's the others who are in tiny bits of handfuls.
Yeah, they are. They literally walk.
Arms,
they walk
legs.
past people where I'm just like, that could be Mirage, that could be Hound. But then Ben, you said there's probably
There's
reskins.
literal repaints there.
Yeah, so you're just kind of like, oh wow, Hound has got no legs. How is he going to transform? Oh, he's only got a front axle. I bet he's going to be like, brrr. Just literally just like, Hound, can you do anything? No, can't do anything.
Turns into a Robin Reliant.
That would be even better than what Hound is. I'm a Jeep. No, Robin Reliant. Only falls on
Have you ever
horses.
seen the Robot Chicken sketch where Jazz is ripped in two during the film?
Yeah.
That's okay.
One of my silly things about it, he goes like, you want to know if it's bad? It's bad.
It may look bad, but I assure you, it's as bad as it looks.
Like moments, and like you're just like, I couldn't tell when we walked past like 70 geezers, halfless, before we meet Ultra Magnus, and there's a really cool
70. There's like 5 Autobots
like
left.
70, maybe 7. That's probably the best
There's
thing.
literally nobody left.
And then
There's 2
obviously-
chicks who are getting banged senselessly.
By Red Alert.
Yeah, because he's the only one with legs.
Worse than the Smurfs.
Is it? It's basically Elite One is Smurfette.
Who's your papa?
So what happens is you basically have Prime and Magnus. Magnus, to me, I think he's the realistic. After their conversation, he's the realist. He's like, we're not going to win. This isn't good.
At this moment, we must focus on surviving as a race, not winning a war.
And then they try and recruit Bumblebee.
Am I that obvious?
Kind of.
But Bumblebee's like, nah,
I'm a pussy.
I know.
I'm a survivor.
I'm the smart one who just doesn't want to fight a war.
Exactly. You hire me to fire Energon, and I don't want to fight. Okay, cool. So what do?
Let him go.
Then we realize, so this is when it becomes like the big page turner. You basically go to a massive open stadium where Megatron is basically using propaganda.
The O2?
Yeah, he's using the O2 Wembley Arena here in the UK to basically go, guess what? The Autobots are douchebags, and look, we are using
tried to assassinate
robot.
me.
Yeah, we are using
Propaganda!
propaganda. So that's pretty much the plot. What were our thoughts of the episode? Who wants to kick it off?
Rich, go.
Scanning device.
Oh, yes! Yes!
Thundercracker, scan.
So why say scanning device? So dangerous.
Just
So what
why?
happens?
Well, like, no, what is that? What does that do apart from that you can just look at them and just go, well, he's got big markings saying he's an Autobot. That guy hasn't got markings, so he's probably neutral.
So my thing is, they scan the people like a barcode, and they basically go, okay, yeah, you're a baddie. We don't know who you are, but like before that even happens, he's like scanning the environment, and they're hiding behind junk, and they can't see him.
Just why?
Right, Ben, your thoughts on this episode? So we're really passionate about this, but Rich is the realist who goes like, why are you scanning things? This is not the 1980s. We're not in a public library. Why are you scanning things? Are you late? D, what's your thoughts on the episode? What's the one, your thoughts on the episode and your best bit of the episode?
Lips! I like Engineer Jodie because she's got enormous lips! Sorry, I was that. Yeah.
So lips. We're going with lips.
And that's it. That is literally
like,
it.
You're seeing the image on the screen right now. It's
lips.
Lips. What the? Ben, what is your favourite part of this episode, or your thoughts on it so far?
The favourite part for me has to be Wheel Jock.
Wheel Jock.
Oh God, he's a sports star.
Wheel Jack's sassiness while nearly being executed of going, oh, that hand Starscream.
You mean that hand?
It's amazing. Starscream got Lannistered. It's amazing. He got Lannistered, and then another one. No, he gets Lannistered, and then one of his mates loses his head like a champagne cork. It just goes.
Okay.
No, I'm surprised it say we got a guy who can fix that. I've got loads like you back at base.
Yeah, exactly. Red Alert will sort you out. We gave him a blaster.
Okay.
He's now an Autobot.
They gave me a blaster, and now I'm a soldier.
It's
Right,
fine.
so here's two things. One, you talked about how flipping Starscream gets Lannistered by Jetfire, who's still got blue eyes, which you know he's going to become a good pussy again.
I am an Autobot now.
I would laugh so hard if he doesn't. That's it.
He's going to turn good.
Turn to a good
He's
person.
going to go back to. He's going to be an Autobot. But he's the leader of the Seekers.
Seekers at the ready.
Yes.
He's bigger than them. He uses a lightsaber wrist-mounted thingy.
Something from Pacific Rim.
Yeah!
That actually
That can
gets
block
used.
bullets.
That can block bullets.
Lasers
or bullets, or whatever they are.
But here's the
Beams
thing,
of
though.
energy.
So they're surrounded one Autobot, one pussy. They're about to shoot them. Starscream's like, let's just shoot him. And then Jetfire's like, no, we're going to either take him in for questioning or
It's because he's
give him
on
to
the
give.
ball.
No,
To be
no, no,
fair,
no.
No, but that makes sense because if they've got a hidden base,
Yes.
Yeah.
then
You
guess
interrogate
what?
them.
You need to interrogate.
Respect your POWs. That's what he's
Yeah,
saying.
it's true.
And then what does Starscream do? No, we should just kill him.
I say we eliminate all 3 of them. Megatron will reward us for our loyalty.
And then all the Seekers go, let's gang up and beat up Jetfire and let the 2 Autobots run away.
Yeah, they're just like, we don't like you. Have a fight with you for no reason.
Megatron walks in, goes,
Execute them.
turns around, walks in, then Prime does it, then turns around and walks back in.
But
Just
Prime
stand
is
still.
Megatron's appearance was very the best way of describing it for me or anyone who hasn't seen the series yet is like in Star Wars Rebels when they first see Vader. When they see Vader, spoilers, kids, is when the kids when they hear the breathing and the first thing they say is run. Awesome. Yeah. When they run into him, the first thing they do is we're going to stop and walk back slowly, and then you realize how big he is, and he's like, "What up, mother?" It's just like amazing.
It's Rogue One when he
It
walks
is.
down the dark corridor
It
with
is.
his bright red eyes, and all of a sudden goes.
Lips. It goes like, I'm really cool. Look at my eyes. Lips. That's all we keep I'll take away from. But my favourite part of the series, because we said we want to take a serious but also jokey approach at this. Wheeljack, again, another great example of like, did he just really say that? He looks at a space bridge, which to me, I'm assuming he hasn't got laid in a while. He just is like, robot vagina.
Oh yeah, I miss these beautiful beasts.
And he says the line...
Like I said, there is only one to go around.
There is only one, yeah.
No,
it's only one
we see
at the moment.
2. We see Chromia. We see Chromia.
Yeah, but we see her for a brief second. And then basically, he says the great line at looking at this giant robot vagina, just going...
Polish my tailpipe.
The main takeaways are the tone of it is really interesting because it's like propaganda, dictator, really, really cool. Autobots are using guerrilla warfare tactics.
Headshot.
No, pussies.
What am I?
Headshot.
Pretty much, Megatron is a dictator, which is really cool. Prime isn't the Prime yet, so we're calling him Prime Pussy. Is that mate? Pussy Prime?
Call him Dan.
Dan. Yeah,
Call him
Dan.
Dan.
Street Fighter. I think that's a perfect
Optimus
analogy.
Dan.
Optimus Dan and Megatron Akuma. That's exactly it. Like, because he's even got red eyes.
Megakuma.
I don't know if Akuma's got sexy lips.
No, he has not.
No, he hasn't. He looks like someone farted on him, and he just looks really angry all the time. Like, I'll never forgive you, Ryu, for farting on my face. So what's our bold predictions for the next episode? What's going to happen? So obviously we've got Magnus walking off. What could honestly happen? I want to say someone else gets killed.
Nope.
Because we've been Lannistered. Someone's got their head popped off. I would like to say, and this is a bold claim, a famous Autobot gets offed.
Let off some steam, Bennett.
What are your opinions, Andy?
Mike just walks up. We get cameos of every other Decepticon we've not seen yet, like all of them.
Okay.
And then he gets tortured.
Okay, cool. So we got a torture scene is what you think
Well,
is going to happen.
I think some pipes are going to get shafted.
Rich! Obviously more lips are going to be happening. Do
obviously-
you want more scanners involved in this?
Just more scanners, like
scanners.
Like, I just want to see like his power level's 9,000.
It was literally like that. Your bold prediction then, sir.
Inevitable Elita 1. And Chromia sex scene. I'm giving no serious answers, and I'll be honest, because I've already watched this twice before watching with
Heresy!
We literally told him not to watch this. And he
just
went
did it.
against us.
Twice.
Twice.
Heresy!
Is all I've got to say to that.
Hey, I've got a lot relating to Bumblebee. I'm a dick.
I was hired to find ENERGON, not be dragged into an Autobot crusade.
Is survival a stupid crusade?
We didn't actually mention the...
What?
Let me look you over, and then he immediately goes...
Oh, it's such his crutch!
Basically, like Team America, like, now suck my cock. And then
Long story
basically
short,
he just goes, whoop.
Red literally walks up to Bumblebee, let me scan you.
Let
and
me
then
check
literally gets
you
on his
out.
knees, crutch high.
Let me check you out, and goes like...
Looks like you've seen a fair share of action.
I just love the fact. I just love the fact that he goes like, "Oh, you look damaged." I was just like, "Oh God, he's been working too much." Red alert. Enough said. Take it easy. Oh, that's a disgusting noise. Right. Okay, guys. Episode 2 of our overview.
Rich has no clue what happened.
Exactly.
Do you, Rich? Explain the episode, Rich. Explain it, please.
Something happened.
I know.
Everybody pulls out.
Autobots, pull out!
Oh, our
Autobots,
elite one.
please, for God's sake, pull out.
Yeah.
All
All right.
7 of them.
Prime, you coward!
So if you didn't know, we're doing an overview for the Transformers War for Cybertron trilogy. We're doing episode 2. Our overview of the episode. Ultra Magnus from the last episode walks up and goes, "I surrender." Then Magnus and Megs have a really interesting discussion on a table, which is really cool because it's like, we fought together, we're brothers.
Remember the Battle of Tarnhauser Gate? Yes, you saved my life. And you, mine.
Right, I surrender, cool. Now chill in this jail cell right next to our command center.
Throw my old brother in one of our finest cells.
Then basically, while this happens, the cell that's right next to them, they're going to discuss a plan. Magnus somehow goes, "I'm going to send a signal and tell about the whole plan to Optimus Prime."
It's from Ultra Magnus, sir. Ultra Magnus? Magnus to Optimus.
Which is interesting because did they mean to put him in a cell right next to him? It's just like, we've got cells, or do we put him, in the reception area? Where do we put him?
No, but they did put him in the nice... Optimus did say, put him in the nice cell.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I was thinking it was going to be like Goodfellas. They were just like, I'm just going to have some nice food. It's going to be great. There's going to be a TV, all these other things. But no, it's literally a reception area next to the main command center. They basically discussed their main plan out loud. Magnus says, "Okay, I better tell the guys."
Magnus to Optimus. Megatron is looking for the Allspark.
Then we get the nice appearance of Soundwave and Shockwave. And then Soundwave goes like, "I've got a really cool idea. I'm going to be a podcast editor."
Repeat. Transmitting coordinates.
Excellent, Soundwave.
Soundwave interrupts it, gets them to do a ambush. They leads into an ambush.
Wait! Do not! Kill them all!
Cog gets messed up. He's literally half the Cog he used to be.
What you say?
His right arm is literally held on by like an inch of material.
Exactly. He's like, "Do you think he'll be all right?"
He gonna be okay, Doc?
Get him into the repair bay.
No.
I'm not going to tell you about the badness, but he's probably going to just be a torso. Sorry. It's really interesting because the whole episode, like, Prime's like, "We need to do this, we need to do this, we need to do this." And the one voice of reason, Elita
my
1.
favourite character.
Your favourite character is
only
Elita
one
1.
makes
With the
reason.
swanky hips and the big guns.
Exactly. Basically goes, we're just doing all this stupid stuff and not using our intelligence, and he's getting people killed.
Optimus, we're gonna need time to recover from this. We don't have the resources.
I'm going to kick in now.
Go for it.
Straight away, this Optimus Prime is Rodimus Prime from the G1 cartoons.
There we go. That's actually a really good
They
thing.
mentioned straight away in the first episode, they all, the Matrix chose you, Prime.
There's a reason the Matrix chose you.
And then he's like, "Oh, I don't think I'm worthy."
Yeah, in like 100 years' time.
It
Yeah.
definitely wasn't his fighting ability.
And all Prime does throughout the first episode is, "We have faith, we have religion, we can do it, we have hope, we can do it." And it's like, yeah, they're a religious cult. Holy shit! All to what? All are
There is a
one.
mystical energy that binds us all. Wait, wrong franchise. Okay,
Yes.
that's fine.
I have a high midichlorian count. I can lead the Autobots.
I've been wondering, what are midichlorians?
It's heroin.
And you're just like, oh, and my highlight of the episode, number one, my highlight is Barricade hits Jack and shit.
Barricade, I believe.
Oh my god!
I believe
Like,
Barricade.
oh my god! What the? Seriously.
is there for plot-driven thing of just saying, like, we can't off people right away, but I'll just miss Ultra Magnus. The guys are walking to me. I will just completely miss.
Your line was when the three reflectors are literally like, aha, there's Prime. We'll point our guns at him and don't shoot into their shotter.
I'm assuming they're all like suing, like we're gonna figure out who we're gonna shoot. Oh, we found them.
Who was the jet who jumped in front of Prime? Went
ready to die, Prime.
And then Prime just knocks him out. It's like twat.
It's not that he knocks him out. He straight up Kenny Omega German.
Right. Here's the thing. We have
lockjaw setting in and keeping him from getting suplexed.
Yeah, because the ambush is basically Spinister, Impactor, Skytread, Barricade, and they're all
Ravage and the three reflectors.
Yeah, so they're all
and
there.
2 Seekers.
And then you're like, what's going to happen? They pick up this Energon cube, and then they basically go...
Surprise, cockfags!
Yeah, and
Boom!
And Impactor basically destroys half of COG.
What you say?
And then Chromeo's going to get beaten up. I was like, if they...
She's going to
No, I was like, if Chromia gets offed there by Barricade would have been amazing.
Because that's the first problem there. Barricade goes, ha!
Yeah,
owned.
He basically did a James Bond. Was like, he basically was Scaramanga from The Man with the Golden Gun. I'm going to shoot you, but first, I just want to smirk with my gorgeous robot lips.
First, we have these ads.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
That's exactly what it was.
We now return to Transformers.
He still hasn't shot 7 years later. He's just admiring it. He might just be like, I've never seen a woman before.
Did we not see a female Decepticon?
He's just like, wait a minute. The Decepticon cause is it's a giant sausage party. And he looks at Chromia and goes like, I'm conflicted, but also robot boobs. One of my funny takeaways, though, is just the fact that, like, I love Ultra Magnus just because his introduction, he throws a Seeker, and then everyone's like, stop this, stop doing it. And he just goes, what are you going to do? And he's just walking, and Jetfire's like, I'm going to shoot you. And he's like, not on my orders. And you're just kind of like, okay.
No, even worse.
But then that's explained because obviously he says,
1 second date.
6.5 hours later.
And then he just basically goes, I surrender. Because honestly, if you think about it, Ultra Magnus is at the point, like, from the last episode, we're done. There's like 7 or 8 of us in this
7. We counted them.
Guerrilla warfare group.
At this moment, we must focus on surviving as a race, not winning a war.
And then worst reveal ever.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's the first thing we were joking about.
So bad.
Your favorite part from episode 1. Where's the guy with the scanner?
Thundercracker, scan.
all throughout the ambush, you're sitting there, now would be a good time to scan. And the other one's like, this is a good spot for an ambush.
This looks like the perfect location for a trap.
And Rich is sitting there, just screaming.
Scan it. But the funniest thing is, like, do we know from the first episode there was like one Seeker whose head's popped off, and it wasn't actually like Thundercracker or Skywarp, it was the scanner guy, and they just were like, guys, we've got no more scanners. Why? That guy died. It's kind of like he was one of the he's like a Cyberman from Dragon Ball Z. He was like, he just exploded, so we haven't got any more scanners. Sorry. We've got loads of other cool stuff like, Shockwave's amazing Deceptipad. I love the branding, the branding of this.
Smash it into
No.
We've got flags, we've got televisions, and yes, we have a Deceptipad. Not Apple.
It's the fact that Shockwave walks in, obviously he's only got one good hand, which is holding the pad, and so he's using his giant gun to press buttons, but he just slaps it.
Of course.
Is it a touchpad or something?
It is. My only thing with because it's a Deceptipad. It's probably a custom one where it goes like, to go forward, there's a giant triangle on the screen. He's like, I've got to hold it with my normal hand. So 1 second. Yeah, there we go. 1 second. It's like a bad PowerPoint presentation. It's like just waiting for like a window. It's like boom.
And escalating my theory.
I don't know how he plays like Raid of Shadow Legends.
He's
just like, guys, I'm really good at hacking, but also, hey, do you want to get some coins for Rado?
Oh my. That's what he's really doing. He's just playing game apps.
That's where he was in the first episode.
It hasn't been seen in ages. Some think it's only a myth.
Yeah, it was. He was just in there going like, I'm playing Angry Birds. That's what was happening. He was just playing Angry Birds in his thing.
Decepticon political campaign for Megs was funded.
through Angry Birds and
Microtransactions.
Hey guys, do you know anything about a Decepticon cause? Well, Autobots are terrible. But if you get Raid Shadow Legends, you can have support us in our surveys of killing Optimus Prime.
$3.99, you can have a blue skin.
You could change your eyes from red to blue or blue to red.
Speaking of which, it was the ambush scene. The Autobots go in with the army of cogs that are just different colours. Like,
I know.
Oh my god!
I was like,
one was
okay.
grumpy, one was sleepy.
I know. It was just, it was so weird.
Oh my god, it's Chromia and the Seven Dwarfs. Chromia and the Seven Dwarfs.
Well, Rich was arguing about this. Look at the size comparison. 1 minute they were the same size, and now one's a midget.
The first thing was, it was like, they're all tall. And the first thing that came to my mind was like, it's Beverly Hills Cop 2, when Eddie Murphy just turns around and goes,
Damn, that's a big bitch.
because throughout this whole episode, she is the proper badass bitch. Yeah. She basically is the only person who's going, Prime, I know you're like the leader, but this is really,
you're a shit.
This is really stupid.
She literally has a sniper rifle as big as the other box.
I'm pretty positive it was the size of Sergeant Cock that got killed.
What you say?
She is the most interesting character in the whole series right now.
She's the most sensible.
She's
intelligent.
She's
like a mid-ground between Prime and Magnus. She's realistic, but she has hope. She's got the traits of both.
And there's a reason
because she's banging Prime.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
But is she also banging Magnus?
Oh,
that's
smart.
why. Just because she's like, he's got the name Ultra in his name, but he's called Prime.
Prime.
There's a reason why Ultra Magnus has those massive pistons above his shoulders, because they bash something out.
What, the rib for her pleasure?
Oh!
The first episode like set a bar real. I think probably really
Pretty low?
high. No, no, you would say low, but I think pretty high because it like shows you what the universe is like and what it is. And this one was like kind of like, okay, now we're introducing the plot device in this episode. How can we make it? Okay, this guy can like Soundwave does his stuff. Basically interrupts transmissions. I'm gonna go change his voice on, I don't know, GarageBand or Audacity and just go, hi, I can change my voice because I'm Ultra Magnus. And they go, that's got to be Magnus. That's got to be Magnus. And then even at one point, I'm pretty positive they all said, it could be a trap though.
Permission to speak freely?
Yes, Sideswipe.
You want us to hunt down an ancient artifact based on information sent from Magnus, who is currently under Decepticon control.
At best, it could be a distraction. At worst, it's a trap. It's a trap!
So it's like, it could be a trap. And I was waiting for just like a tumbleweed to come and then Prime just go, nope.
because
nope,
this
can't be.
Because it's not like the Decepticons have been searching for these artifacts for
exactly.
a while now, I'm guessing.
Magnus just found it in his prison cell.
Exactly. No, not prison cell. Reception area.
Here's a luxury suite.
A luxury suite.
It's within minutes of them going, hi, I'm in the Decepticon's base, and they're looking for Allspark. It's only 5 seconds later. Oh, we've got another transmission. They found the Allspark. Go here now. Within minutes next, it's going to be like, they are not evil. They are good.
I was just waiting. It was like, they are fine. I'm Ultra Magnus. And you're just like, it can't be a trick. Wait a minute, he's got to be fine, right?
Pausing like he's loading. So round this all off like craziness, as crazy because I want to get to the next episode, is they're trying to find the Allspark. So Prime walks in and goes,
no Allspark. It was a trap.
And we walked right into it.
Let's try and find the real Allspark and ignore Ultra Magnus' fake messages. And Wheeljack's like, but we'll lose our cloaking device, which is keeping us alive. Do it anyway.
The energon it takes will start affecting our ability to stay cloaked.
Unfortunate, but necessary.
Yeah,
so it's going to be, I think you're going to have the moment where all the Autobots are like, you're crazy. This is crazy. You.
You're not a real leader.
Yeah, no, but you know though that Bumblebee's then going to go back to them with that big.
Yeah, so that's the one thing we forgot to mention was he actually has this energon thing. Yeah.
Which, if you're setting a trap,
why use
why actually
valuable?
Use it?
Let's get that energon and go. It's not here. Where the scrap is it? Megatron's not gonna like this.
Yeah.
Because literally it made no sense to put that in there.
I'm not going to lie.
It could have been an empty box.
My first viewing of it, I thought he shot that thing to explode.
I thought he exploded.
Yeah, he exploded, and that's why Cog is like pretty much half the man he is.
So let's.
What you say?
The ambush plan was simple. get them to go to one place, put some bait, which you didn't need because you've already told them something they want is there, so you didn't need the actual physical bait. They just need to walk in and go, X marks the spot, but there's nothing here. Oh no.
It's a trap!
Also, it was a pretty shitty ambush, because considering Hound has grenades, they have weaponizers. Where's all the Decepticon big guns to nuke people?
That was really cool because you actually saw like an unnamed cog, should we just say, actually become the giant Dozy. It was one of the 7 cogs. Basically, transform and go on a sideswipe. And in the trailer, when we were leading up to this, I was like, yes, we're going to see Sergeant Cog turn into this thing and be cool. No, Sergeant Cog got blew up, and some random guy called Dopey basically becomes the guy and goes, I'm a bigger gun.
Captain Dopey.
And then the best thing about it was, They I don't know if they killed Decepticons, but they brought down a building on Impactor. That's how you kill someone.
No, what's even worse, they shoot a Seeker which crashes into the building, which Impactor's standing there. Like, ran into me under the
it basically
retards.
was, what's that movie? Jason and the Argonauts. It was just like when Talos gets fallen over, like, I'm going to hurt his ankle, and I'm going to just go back for the spear, and then I'm going to get crushed. And I was just kind of like,
proper
no,
80s
Impactor.
moment, proper 80s classic 80s cartoon. As I pointed out, they're trying to keep the old school fans happy. It's when Impactor fires his harpoon, Optimus grabs it, throws it back at him, and then we cut to literally a second after, and he's tangled up. Like, oh no!
I was so excited when he did it because I was just like getting Mortal Kombat music in my background. Get over here! But it didn't. I wish just pulled him and just went, you prick, and just said clothesline him. It's like clothesline from hell, like Bradshaw from like WWE.
Oh, that would have been so much better than I throw it back at you, and somehow you're tangled up.
So anyway, guys, we're going to go watch episode 3. Hopefully you're enjoying this series so far. Leave a like, leave a comment, tell us your thoughts. Who do you think's an idiot? Actually, who's the bigger idiot? Barricade for not being able to shoot anyone? Or Impactor going, rally on me, and no one rallied on him except a falling building.
The guy who designed Megatron's lips.
Boom! We didn't talk about the lips, did we?
I found something even worse.
Okay.
Which is Megatron's crotch light.
Yes! Okay, so, yes, you pulled
this. This is the Tron, this is the Mega.
This is the Tron, and I am the Omega.
You're like, why has he got a torch on his dick? No, he hasn't. Oh, shit, he has! Anyway, let's find out what Bumblebee's going to do, like, hand over the Energon and be like, yeah, you're an Autobot now, whee!
Exactly, right. Okay, guys, we are back with episode 3 of the overview for Transformers War of Cybertron, the trilogy, Netflix series. Right, as we've done with every episode, we kick things off with a short recap, then our thoughts, and then our best bits. So, what happened in this episode? Well, first things first, it kicks off with Ratchet finding Impactor from the previous episode, and Impactor is in bad shape, like straight up...
Damn! He looked fine.
Impaled. He was impaled.
Impaler was impaled.
Impacted upon a spike.
Oh, terrible puns. But then we move quickly into, obviously, open title credits, and then we actually meet another Autobot we haven't met in the previous episodes, which is Prowl. Not your favorite Autobot. I like Prowl, but then if you've read the records, that's the reason why D doesn't like Prowl. And we're not going to go down that route. We're going to keep going. We'll probably come back to it, because you definitely do not like Prowl. He's talking about the Allspark no longer being on Cybertron, and basically, like, we can probably take it out, or can we take it off air and all this stuff?
Yeah, they're trying to take it off Cybertron.
If you believe the old religions, remove the Allspark, and Cybertron dies.
We will not let that happen.
The idea of will we kill Cybertron if we do
it? Is the world going to implode?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Well, just flatline after you pull it out.
Yeah, exactly. Beep. That's exactly what Cybertron is. It's like a heart sensor, and then it goes like. Then we get to actually see what I really liked about the episode a little bit was Starscream scheming a little bit. Being the guy we all know of just like, I'm a bit of a dick, but this is how I would do it, this is how I do it, and then the classic...
Scheming in the open.
In the open, yeah, so everyone can hear.
Can we state Decepticons have the worst secret meetings in the world? Last episode, secret meeting in the meeting room, next to the luxury Magnus suite.
What? Megatron is looking for the Allspark. Magnus.
Yeah, exactly. And this one is just open air, and obviously Megatron turns up, and like Jeff was like, I don't trust him.
If you ask me,
He's more like a tool. And tools are easily replaced.
It shows that he's thinking the bigger picture, and he's only a cog that could easily get replaced.
Like the cogs.
Yay!
What you say?
We then move on to Optimus Prime, talking again about possibly rebuilding the space bridge, and probably Wheeljack mentioning it.
I was trying to tell you when I was out with that scavenger Bumblebee. We discovered the remains of a space bridge.
It's only taken him,
3 days.
A couple of days. Yeah, 3 days or however long it has been.
In fact, it was really urgent.
Yeah, it was urgent, but then we had Bumblebee taking the highlight, like, I don't work for you guys, okay? Leave me alone, I'm Bumblebee.
I was hired to find ENERGON, not be dragged into an Autobot crusade.
We then, I think a real defining scene for this episode was when Megatron is talking to Shockwave about, we need to torture Magnus to get the location, but there is a line I will not cross.
Do not lecture me, Shockwave. You are now free to use whatever methods you see fit.
And then he does cross it, so you can see where Megatron is slowly changing. He currently a dictator with a little bit of content, but now he's just like, screw it, I'm going full badass. I just don't care anymore. I want the All-Spark. We need to cross lines.
Megatron,
Yeah.
He never crosses the line. He
Yeah.
just rubs it out. And raises it.
Yeah, exactly. He erases the line and is under it a little bit more. I like that. And then we get a little bit of a cool introduction to Mirage, who's been in the last couple of episodes, but it was pretty cool to see how it was for the toy. So he put on his Decepticon disguise. It didn't really work, but we had that cool shot. Just look forward if you didn't see it already. This giant giant field.
Something that would give me a boner.
Oh, well,
and
probably
it did.
for Decepticon hate.
Vlad the Impaler had gone, what would make Cybertron look a bit nicer? Pikes with
Yeah.
bodies on them.
Just loads of pikes, and then obviously because he's shocked so much, his disguise starts to fail, and then you get a cool kind of action sequence, and we'll just say it. Spinister gets offed by Prime. Spinister gets offed by Prime.
What you say?
Literally like a Mortal Kombat fatality.
It is straight on Mortal Kombat. That is true. That is 100% true. But then they go to a theater, and it's like Ratchet's there, and he's kind of made his own homemade hospital, and he's been helping out people. And he's, to me, which I'll come back to, one of my favorite bits. I think he's a really interesting character, and how his thoughts have been changed of saying I don't want to create weapons and all this stuff that kills people. I want to help people now.
I realized my former solutions were making things worse.
I want to help things, and then obviously he's helped Impactor, and then you got the bit of jar in between Autobots and Impactor, and then they basically just walk away.
I apologize. Autobots, we are leaving.
But then you've also got Magnus being tortured by the Decepticons, which I laughed at because it immediately reminded me of Metal Gear Solid for the PlayStation. He was just like, electroshock therapy. He's like, I was wanting to mash circle really fast to stay alive.
We're not finished yet.
Or just give up and let Meryl die. Spoiler for a video game.
What you say?
Yeah, he then breaks free and he's about to shoot Megatron.
In the back.
But Megatron's like, you won't shoot me in the back.
You have too much honor to shoot someone in the back.
No, but he could have shot the other one.
He could have shot Jetfire, but he didn't. And then we talk a little bit more about the Allspark with Ratchet.
The Allspark is a vessel of life in the hands of Megatron. There's no telling what he might do with it.
And then that he's gonna, he's changing his mind. I'm gonna help out the Autobots, and even Impactor's like, I don't care anymore.
I am a Decepticon. But long ago, way before that, I swore an oath to protect the people of Cybertron.
I'm not an Autobot. I'm not a Decepticon. You know what? Screw it. I'm just here to help the planet. Yeah, I'm a Cybertronian. I'm Captain Planet.
Captain Planet, he's our hero. Gonna take pollution down to zero.
Is basically all I got from that. Yeah, exactly. I'm here to help
He's
a living thing.
a wrecker.
And then we cut back to more torture, and then Magnus is going to tell him what's going on.
We'll tell you. We'll tell you where they are.
to and fro from that, we have Jetfire basically showing where he stands. He doesn't believe in murder and all this stuff. Shoots Skywarp. Skywarp buggers off, and that's
killing Autobots left, right, and centre.
exactly. He probably has been offing them, and he's had enough now.
He's like the leader of
not slaughtering the entire race like.
Yeah, exactly. So he probably like joined Megatron with good intentions and has now seen how he's completely changed. Yeah. And he's like, I was 100% behind what you were doing. I don't know how to get out of this. One of my takeaways is more branding by the Decepticons. Drones. Yeah, they've got more drones.
At all. It's the first time we've seen them. Like, why weren't these above the battle zones? Like where you were doing an ambush.
Do you want to know why? Because they hadn't got the rights to it, or they didn't have the money for to make the drones. But then they probably played a lot of Raid Shadow Legends to actually make the money for the things.
Right. First of all, considering episode are we on 3 now?
Episode 3.
Episode 2 ended with flipping Bumblebee again, world's greatest prick, because it ended with him holding that Energon cube up, which was bait, and smiling. And you now know, as this episode progresses, he's not handed over to the Autobots. He's just gone, oh hey, I've got all this Energon to myself because I'm a massive cock. So Bumblebee just proves how much of a he is.
Wow, first explicit if I need to. Wow, okay.
So he's a douche. He's a proper douche.
Yeah. Who is there actually to sell Energon to, apart from Autobots and Decepticons?
Maybe that will be covered later.
Oh, don't foreshadow.
Hopefully Ratchet.
Ratchet.
Because, yes, man of the match is Ratchet.
Yeah.
He's just saving people and has no side.
Ratchet to me is kind of very similar to like the Tony Stark during like Iron Man 1 when he's like has the realization of like, hey, I'm making weapons that are basically killing people.
I came to realize that I have more to offer this world than just making things to blow up.
His solutions make more problems, and now he's basically become the opposite of that, and he's trying to repair and make from his mistakes.
You were an engineer. Your inventions, your manufacturing, your weapons.
Yeah, well, I don't do that anymore.
You made a very, very good point while we were watching episode 3 when Megatron, I think it was episode 2, when they're talking about their master plan of making everybody Decepticons by infecting them with a virus that makes them go, I'm a Decepticon now. And then you get in this episode, Starscream going, man, they're not really Decepticons, they're just... And you were like, does it matter? You're all now on the same side. You're not trying to kill each other.
That's the pure blood thing, isn't it?
Can you imagine one of them as one of us? They wouldn't be true Decepticons.
They weren't in the pits, they weren't in the gladiator things, they didn't have to fight for the same things.
Nor was Starscream, though. Starscream chose to be a Decepticon, and that's what he's saying. If they haven't chosen, we're just telling them to be it.
What we're saying is, Starscream believes the are inferior then.
Yeah, so it seems like there seems to be, like, for me, what people think the Decepticon cause is. You've got Jetfire realizing, I got into this because I believe in your idea, but now you're murdering people for no apparent reason. That makes no sense. You've got Starscream saying, well, we're these people, and we're going to program them to be like us. They're not going to be like us. They're not true. They weren't here with us. And then you've got the other people who are just kind of like sheep, and they're getting changed because of propaganda.
Two very good points there. One, you get the scene where Impactor's basically like slagging off to the Autobots. We were just in the mines suffering.
I was predetermined to slave away in the mines, pulling energon from the core until death or deactivation, so you could just race through life.
Enough!
You don't command me, Prime. You weren't down there in the muck like Megatron and me.
And then you have the other moment with Jetfire where Skywarp's like, we found the Autobot base, let's kill them. And he's like, no, we're not killing them.
Megatron will reward us greatly. We'll annihilate them.
Annihilation of an entire race shouldn't be the price of peace.
Don't forget, Jetfire's in charge, he's the commander, so he should say, right, I'll stay here. You go, tell Megatron the location, I'll make sure they just don't escape. And then he could walk in and tell them all to surrender or run.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, he's like, I'll shoot you in the back.
Yeah, because Skywarp forces his hand. And that's where it seems to me is like, everyone seems to have like completely corrupted their view on what the Decepticon cause was. And that's where I think where we've seen now previously in episodes where we've taken a little bit of the piss about how stupid they are and stuff like that. It honestly seems as just dysfunction. They believe in a cause, but they've got a corrupted view on it. What were you going to say?
Well, from the sounds of it, Alphatron started the revolution with Megs, Prime, and what's his name? Magnus.
No, Magnus.
And they've all taken a different piece of it and twisted it to whatever they needed it to be.
Yeah, because Prime's probably gone the route of
The moral high ground.
And then Megatron's kind of gone, I've read little bits of this and I've corrupted it for my own
And then Magnus
gain.
seems to be the mid.
Yeah. And he's like, I love both of these people, but he's like the middle person because obviously he doesn't shoot Megatron.
Now, considering
and he
the
likes
first
Prime.
episode,
It's interesting.
Optimus screams at Megatron, "You murdered Alpha Trion!"
You betrayed him, Megatron. You murdered him.
So far, we've not found anything what Alphatron's done so far.
Yeah, all I believe is like, he created us.
More importantly, so far, we've known about this Allspark, and they even mentioned, we mentioned it earlier, that if they unplug them All-Star, the planet might die. When did they say this? Oh yeah, Elita 1 and that thing both go...
You will never say Prowl's name.
They
will
both
never say the
say
P
the
word.
ancient religious text. I'm like, wow, they are all religious fanatics.
Yeah, but these books say
So
it might
the
happen.
entire fate of Cybertron rests on turning it off and on again.
Pretty much.
Like a computer.
Core reset.
Core reset. There we go. That's exactly it. It's just like, we're just going to hit the thing. Maybe they might just use Shockwave to do it with his massive button. Boom! Just with his
Yeah, that
giant...
interesting scene though where Megatron goes to shoot Shockwave because he suggested maybe I should just torture Ultra Magnus. No! And he's about to actually shoot Shockwave for suggesting it.
Yeah, and then basically Jetfire reminds him, we don't do that. But then obviously later on in the episode, you realise it's like, just do it.
I will have to use more unorthodox methods.
Do it.
And obviously...
Megatron needs
information.
information.
Yeah, because it's
He's
kind
a pussy.
It is kind of interesting because it's like even Magnus says to him while he's being like, when he's about to be shooting him, he's just like,
Don't become like those we rose against.
I tell you what,
I don't want
do
you to
what
become
this
it,
is?
but he's
I know
obviously
I've been taking
going
the
that
mick
way.
for like 3 episodes saying George R.R. Martin has been writing most of this because like the body's hitting the floor.
Exactly.
He's Daenerys. He's Daenerys, isn't it?
It
After
is.
she loses her 2 little counselors and starts going mad and burning everything.
Yeah, pretty much. Maybe he's Targaryen.
Maybe he's Targaryen.
Maybe he's Targaryen.
Megatron.
Yeah. Maybe. Well, wait a minute.
With the red
Jamie is Starscream because he lost a hand. Well, the funniest thing about it is I think there was this seems to have a more serious storytelling tone than the other episodes.
The third episode finally went, oh yeah, this is supposed to be sensible.
We need plot.
We need plot. We
We're
need
introducing key cogs. No pun intended, Sergeant Cog. We don't know if you're alive or not.
What you say?
But we seem to like now we need to build the story because we've had some action. You've seen what the sides can do. We've had little story briefs, but now we need to give you, we need to give you the meat. We need to give you the main course of what's going on.
First episode was to give all fanboys a G1 hard-ons. Oh god, this big.
Yeah.
And then the second one was to entertain all the small kids. Pew 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 pew.
Yeah.
Bang bang boom boom.
And now this one is more
they're
like the political prisoners. We need to help everybody. We need to,
We've
fight
turned
the
this
power.
into a World War II film
Yeah,
with
exactly.
Nazis and Jews.
Didn't we kind of joked a little bit when Starscream's like, they're not one of us or whatever. It's just like, and they're all like, yeah. We're just like, he's
Nazis.
sounding very, very like Hitler. I think for me, one of the best bits, which was kind of cool, which you pointed out, Ben, as well, was just the fact that like Mirage uses holograms, and then the reflector slow-mo kick. I was like, that's kind of cool.
And it breaks.
And then nothing happens because he just goes like, oh shit. But I had a cool slow-mo moment.
It's the
That's
fact
awesome.
the other hologram takes the shot for that hologram, which then that hologram dies, and then you've got another 3 holograms that run. I'm like, whoa, how many holograms?
Exactly. All the holograms in the world.
If he could do this, why hasn't he done it already?
It's like Exhibit got near it. I can have a hologram for your hologram, or your hologram with your hologram.
Exactly.
It's true.
But it's good. I actually, because I've listening back to our other episodes, we were taking the piss. This is probably the first one where we've been like,
serious.
There's not really a lot to take the piss out of in this one.
Apart from Elita 1 and Chromia's swaggy hips.
Well, we got to keep on bringing up Elita. Elita 1 is definitely our favourite
And
character.
everybody's height difference. Like, holy shit.
Everyone is so tall. Everyone is small.
No.
It's just ridiculous.
A certain Decepticon police car is the midget.
Well, I think that's funny because Barricade is really small and so is Prowl. Everyone else is just like,
no,
yeah, we're just
my
low
argument
riders.
with that thing was, how does he walk through doors? Because have you seen the size of
Yeah.
his shoulders? He's
And it's
like,
true.
Power shoulders.
He's like, I'm small, but I'm jacked.
Yeah, but no, his arms are like 5 miles away from each other, and then he's
Yeah.
got his doors are open. It's like, how do you walk through a door?
I completely agree. It's
Sideways?
interesting. Sideways.
It is just every design is really impractical.
Yeah, exactly.
If you were going to design a robot, it would not be like that.
Well, the thing is, maybe because they're so big, they're just like, okay, we're using all the energon for cloaking the arc. Well, wait a minute, everyone's so big. sideways and tall. How do we solve this situation? Revolving doors. Let's just put revolving doors in everything so we can go sideways.
Doors anywhere.
Oh, doors anyway. They took out all the doors as an expense. They're like, yeah, we need to save power. Just take them out. We don't need keypads.
Even the cell energy shield door, you can just apparently phase.
That's also that's one thing we can take the piss off. Somehow Megatron punched Magnus through his side of the jail cell.
Yeah.
So my first question was like, can Magnus just like put his arm out and go like deactivate?
Rich, you just said, can he just walk through that and leave?
Yeah, he's just
Megatron
like, you know what?
know how to do flare.
Let's crack on, boys.
Right, let's get straight into episode 4.
Hashtag proud forever? Forever? I can't say
Prowl
it. I'll try.
forever.
Thank you.
Prowl forever. Okay, guys, we are back for episode 4 overview of the War for Cybertron trilogy Transformers Netflix series. So let's get straight into the nitty gritty. I'm joined again by the elaborate crew of Ben, D, Rich, and myself. Right, what happened in this episode?
Lips!
Yeah, obviously.
Megatron's lips!
Death.
Death.
I'm not a happy man.
Nobody's dead.
Yeah, well, you're not. You're okay with this.
Nobody name-worthy.
See, you guys over here are just going to rip into me because Magnus.
No, it was watching your jaw hit the floor and you pissed your pants.
Jumped off the seat.
Because you don't off my boy, but he's dead. Yeah, that's just.
Thank God for that.
What you say? So Magnus was taken to the Tom Hauser graveyard, which obviously he kept referring to throughout the whole of the series. In handcuffs,
which sounds like the place where the first revolution started.
Yeah, pretty much. And he's basically
a lot of graves.
Yeah,
well,
a huge amount of graves, and he's basically talking to Megs, just going, "You corrupted Alpha Trion's message."
Alpha Trion sparked a revolution, and you co-opted and corrupted his message.
You're the bad guy.
A lot of people die.
And then Magnus basically shows that the Autobots aren't hiding here.
I will never betray the Autobots. I will unify Cybertron.
And then gets shot.
What you say?
And then there's a light show that buggers off, and I was kind of like, okay.
It's the midi-chlorians.
Yeah, the midi-chlorians came out.
I've been wondering, what are midi-chlorians?
It's heroin.
And then
so many Star Wars jokes we did.
We're going to not lie. Our favourite character came back, Punk Bumblebee. Yes, Punk Bumblebee came back. Obviously, he's flicking some sort of credits going, yeah, I've sold some Energon. Then these lights went into him, which kind of was
He got space
interesting.
aids.
And then while that was happening, Laserbeak, which was kind of cool because we haven't seen any of the cassettes yet, was sent out to
Ravage.
see. Like,
Seen him.
Yeah, but like, Ravage just stood there and shook his head and just was like, okay. So Laserbeak was sent out to that, and then pretty much from that, Prime was like, I need to go talk to the Guardians because Magnus is dead and I don't know what to do with my life.
I must first attempt to contact the Guardians. The loss of Ultra Magnus affects even them.
Jetfire actually gets confronted by Starscream, and what we didn't realize, which was kind of cool, Starscream just goes, oh yeah, you know, Skywarp died, Jetfire killed him, which I was like, oh, I didn't realize he died. He just looked like he was knackered. But no, he died in episode 3 from the looks of it. So another character offed.
What you say?
Actually, I think that's how many Seekers are now dead? So you have one have his head popped off.
Yeah,
there's so many
unnamed
deaths.
ones being popped off by
many.
snipers.
We lost count.
And
They're the
so
red shirts.
Starscream.
They are the red shirts. Oh my God.
They are the
Literally,
red shirts.
Starscream is in charge of like 3 people now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the commander of the Seekers. Well,
There's none left.
We've only got Bruce, Steve, and Dave. Everyone else got offed. Like, no, yeah. But anyway, yeah. So obviously that later happens. That Megatron promotes Starscream to basically become the king of the Screamers.
Like general ever.
Starscream, you are hereby granted command of the Seekers. Most inferior.
Exactly. But obviously we keep. Yeah, that's the whole idea. Tools can be reused.
And tools are easily replaced.
But Megatron's slowly losing shit.
But this is
who at one point was having a secret meeting in front of him,
imposing that he was weak.
So with that, obviously they confront Jetfire.
You're planning a genocide of the Autobots.
Jetfire buggers off. They have this really cool kind of like Top Gun wannabe chase, and
He
they
goes
shoot down.
inverted, lands on somebody, and chops the nose cone off. It's amazing.
It's pretty
He
cool.
circumcised that bitch.
And then didn't bother doing that again.
No, yeah,
does-
Rich is like, just press A and B at the same time. Do the combo. Do the combo.
So to quote D, he circumcised a seeker, and then they shoot him down, and then they go like, "We killed him. We're not going to check for a body, but we killed him." Wait, and then fly over him.
You're sure he was killed?
Yes, Lord Megatron.
We blew that traitor out of the sky.
So with that being said, the Autobots then decide to go. We're going to have a repair team go to the the space bridge. Elita 1, look after the Ark. And then Prime goes off to see the Guardians. He goes sees the Guardians. We're teased by, obviously, the Guardians in G1 or even G2 if you've seen them. They're basically like the outline of Omega Supreme, because Omega Supreme's kind of like a Guardian.
derpy.
And they basically go, we're not going to fight. We're not going to join your argument because it's two factions having a civil war.
As you know, we will not become involved in a skirmish between two factions.
And then Prime actually is quite smart here, and he goes like, you're supposed to check the planet.
What is the point of the Guardians if you do not guard the planet? I will protect Cybertron without you.
You guys, I'm leaving. That's pretty much what Prime said.
Drops Mike, leave.
Yeah, like, literally, what is the point of those Guardians?
I don't know.
Rich literally was doing this the whole episode. Like, what the f*** is a Guardian? What's its job? And we're we're not going to explain because too much.
Exactly. I have a really cool comparison later that I'm going to talk about, which I think a lot of the viewers and listeners will agree with, and maybe a few of you here if you know DC Comics. So, yeah, he knows. So after this, obviously, they cuts from various groups going to...
The bridge fixing team!
Exactly.
Go!
And all we're going to say is, Chromia... Chromia duck hunted too.
We want to hang on.
Killed.
I was going to say, Optimus basically accidentally killed Spinister because he just picked him and threw him. He didn't realize he was going down the spike.
What you say?
Why doesn't more of the Autobots have those sniper rifles?
It's because
they've only got one and they have to share.
Yeah, they're
Elita and Chromia are never together, so they share the gun.
They share the gun, but I bet you at one point they're going to be like, Ratchet, you said you're not going to make any more weapons.
Can you fix this one?
Can you get another sniper
if I
rifle?
my techno titties at you, can I have a rifle?
Can you replicate this gun? No. Anyway, so then we get, obviously, Starscream get promoted to the Seekers, and he has his kind of splurge moment.
Welcome to a new era of Decepticon aerial superiority.
And everyone, my favourite line is Soundwave going like, "Oh God, help us!" That was amazing.
So inferior.
Most inferior.
And then what we find out, which is kind of interesting, because Bumblebee kind of stumbles into the Ark, and then you realise that obviously this is R.I.P. Magnus is dead.
What you say?
Like we are.
Thank God for that.
I'm upset.
This
Magnus
man has
is
a
dead.
chest cavity bigger than Cogs.
And what you kind of find out, which is really cool, is like the leadership is going to be split.
Optimus Prime and Ultra Magnus felt that no single Cybertronian should possess both the matrix of leadership and the Alpha Trion protocols.
They agreed to share the power?
Prime is going to have the Matrix, and all the knowledge and strategy and all that is going to go into Magnus.
Basically, it's downloading the history.
Yeah,
file.
the history and everything. So obviously, both of them.
The internet, it
can't
was in
share the
Ultra
power.
Magnus.
But we also have a plot flaw, which we will bring up very, very quickly, because D
Is
yelled
it
it out.
Is it a plot flaw?
D did yell it out, and I was just kind of like, oh yeah, that might be true. So that happens, and then Jetfire crashes in pretty much outside the Ark and goes like, I'm Jetfire.
My name is Jetfire. I'm not here to fight. I'm here to join you.
So obviously he's going to become a good guy.
Sure.
Horror, shock, horror. So one of the plot holes we found out. So if you have all the knowledge and the strategy that Magnus said he has, because also Bumblebee finishes with a line saying,
I know where to find the Allspark.
And D immediately just yelled, wait a minute, Magnus knew all this time?
And said nothing!
And said nothing.
Did he? Because
Yeah.
the question is, could he use all the protocols?
That's true. Maybe there was a couple of firewalls he couldn't get by.
Look, it's one of those ones of destiny.
Yeah, exactly. He was not allowed entitled to all the programs. So it's just like I've like
not
losing.
unlocked
This is
but
the
I
reason
will.
Cybertron Pornhub's like blocked because he's been going through that much of
That's
it. Cybertron wants
100%.
to do.
Well, the thing is, if he's got the internet locked inside him, that's why he's the tactician, because he can just Googles it.
True. Okay,
my
so
God.
It's true.
my
Autobot battle tactics. Google it.
So
He
what
is.
was-
He's
so
just
what-
Google.
He is Google.
He's Google. This is why he's such an arrogant prick. He's just Google.
No, what was it? Instead of Ask Jeeves, ask Alpha Trion.
Ask Alpha Trion, or basically was Magnus Bran Stark? Was he just basically, I was really, really cool at the beginning, and then I just became Google? You don't like Bran Stark. I do. Okay, so we've got two comparisons I really like in here. So I have two things. So the Guardians, to me, are exactly like the Guardians in the Green Lantern. Like, literally, they are the defenders.
We should do something.
They are
No!
yeah, exactly. We are the defenders of the realm. Okay, people are getting mass genocide. People are getting killed. Yeah, but there's a bigger picture, but we're not going to help you. And so that's why we have the E-deal of Sinestro, aka, should we just say, Megatron, rebelling against them because they're not helping out. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I'm sort of going, that's scary. It's also like, they are
Yeah,
launches from
they
Marvel
are-
too.
they are.
We can watch the events, but
we can't help.
Unlike, apart from that one Rogue One.
Okay, so other than that, what were our other favourite parts of this? Obviously, we were...
Finally seen Ironhide.
Yes, Ironhide.
Time.
Finally, we see Ironhide.
Which one was Ironhide?
The red one. He's a red one. Forget it.
He was the guy they said, oh yeah, we need to go find it. And he was the guy with the massive grenade, like basically the
Show
grenade
him
launchers
fuck
from
Dude,
like
he's
Commando.
Got, he's got the rocket launcher from Commando.
He has.
The quad one.
He has the quad one. If that makes any sense to you, Rich. He was the red one who was like, oh yeah. I really want to say Uzi 9mm, but it isn't. It's basically a rocket launcher from freaking Commando.
I'll
So,
state my favourite moment.
what's your favourite moment?
Watching
Alex?
you literally jump and shit yourself.
Yeah,
at
I'm not
Magnus'
happy.
death. You jumped down the street.
I am not happy my favourite character is off.
What you say?
I am not happy, man.
Nobody saw
And,
it coming.
the worst part is there's no Junkins putting back together, so he has Humpty Dumpty that shit.
I cannot believe Magnus is dead. I'm absolutely gutted.
What you say?
He
I'm not
lives
gonna
on in
lie.
Bumblebee.
This movie that has space aids.
Yes, you did yell that. He goes like, "What is that light?" And all I heard was D go, "Space aids." And he goes like, and then even Megatron's like, "Follow the light, Laserbeak. I want to know what that is." And he's like, "Space aids." That's what he wants. He's gonna catch the clap. That's what it was. That's why he freaks out. He goes like, "I'm seeing everything."
No, the worst bit's when Bumblebee then decides, oh no, I'm going to use the Google, translates it, and he's like, image of Alpha Trion. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's true.
hi Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, I'm not Alpha Trion.
No. Alpha Trion died long ago.
Because I'm not Alpha Trion, but I look like Alpha Trion because you might not know who Alpha Trion looks like.
I'm the guy from The Matrix. I can choose many forms.
Exactly, but I'll choose a form that you might know, but you don't know. But anyway, I'm going to tell you this useful information.
I look really cool, so I'm going to tell you this information.
Exactly, and he tells him the cool thing, and the first thing he does, which I think is kind of a hilarious dick move, was like, met Alpha Trion Prime. He was a nice guy.
I met Alpha Trion. Kind of.
I envy your experience, Bumblebee.
I'm jealess. And he's just kind of like, oh, I'm so happy you're a part of this, Bumblebee. But literally like, you're a prick. But the best thing I like about it was like, we've always been taking the piss out of Prime in this series so far.
Oh, he's a pussy.
He doesn't know what he's doing. He's a bit of an idiot.
Because he's Rodimus Prime.
But it's literally the death of his closest friend has kind of realised, like, oh shit.
I'm an idiot.
I'm an idiot. I need to go talk to people and do stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's kind of interesting because it's kind of like maybe he did lose his way and he needed that reality check to go,
No, I never
oh,
think
shit.
he had a way.
Yeah. He was I must do this. I must do
literally,
that.
what did we
We
say?
must fight for reasons.
Faith and hope.
Megs and Prime, two opposites of the coin. Magnus was the middle.
Yeah, yeah.
That was literally it. So now Prime's kind of becoming... They've both got the conscience. Jetfire is Meg's conscience, and he's pissed off now. So Bumblebee's going to be Prime's conscience?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. He downloaded Google. He's probably the Three-Eyed Raven. Oh, there are loads of other random
He's
stuff.
Jeeves!
He's Jeeves. He's Zazu from
Yahoo!
Lion King. He just knows everything now, you know.
He's just got space aids.
He's got
Space aids. It will affect the others. Watch it.
What? I just got that scene from Robot Chicken where he just goes like, it burns when I pee.
That's 1 minute Ratchet and flipping Impactor with Optimus now. They go, yeah, we're going to go do the space bridge. Next thing you know, they just walk into the Ark, like, yeah, we're here to fix things. How long have you been here fixing shit?
They took them to the Ark. They never took them to the space bridge the first time. They walked straight to the
I bet they were
Ark.
just like, oh yeah, we're gonna take you to the space bridge, but I just want to show you that we need to actually fix our army because we've only got 7 of us.
And it's like also with Bumblebee, it shows him walking out with a goal.
Have you noticed, first episode, you've got like 9 Autobots, but now Ironhide's in and someone else. They're slowly marching them in bit by bit.
Marketing!
So my other question is, R.I.P. Cog?
What you say?
Because we haven't seen him yet.
Oh, he's gone.
Go to the repair
There's
bay.
another 7 cogs.
No,
Doesn't
6!
matter.
There's another 6 cogs.
Okay, sorry. There's Captain Cog, Private Cog, Major
Sergeant
Cog,
Commander Cog,
Duke Cogimus III. We don't know.
Lieutenant Cog, Vice Admiral Cog.
If Cog's dead now, I'll be really upset. Cog, come back alive, please.
Oh, can we get on with this before
never
we
mind.
die of
Right,
laughter?
we're gonna go watch episode 5.
Pray for Cog.
Yeah, hashtag is Cog alive? Because we found out Skywarp died.
What you say?
Like everyone is just being up. They're just like, did you know that all your cool characters are just
Literally.
my funniest one was just like, okay, so Spinister got offed, and I'm just like, wait a minute, he's the only helicopter.
What you say?
Okay, that's sad. Skywarp, he's one of the cool seekers. Well, that seems to be
Not anymore.
What you say?
Shed loads of seekers just dropping out the sky. Because that's the one that made me laugh. Rich is just kind of like, well, there's another one. Gone.
Ding, counting down.
It's just the worst thing is because they all look the same. You're just kind of like, oh yeah, is that Thundercracker? No, that's Thundercracker.
In like the first episode, you thought it was Thundercracker whose head popped off because it was just another black and purple text.
because it was the scan bot.
It's a scan bot.
That's
the running joke.
He was the OP bot, so he had to go first.
It's Rich throughout the whole episode. We're on episode 4 now, and the way he's just going, now would be a good time for a scan.
Thundercracker, scan.
Oh wait, a scan! It's just Rich constantly going, scan.
Like, does it get dark on Cybertron?
do you know the best one?
It's always cloudy. It's
They
like
can't
England.
find right. All the Decepticons are like military colours, so they hide in the wreckage. You can not they disguise.
Yeah, the bright green, yellow
ones.
ones.
They can't see the bright yellow pissing car.
Yeah.
Or the bright blue chick.
My
or the ambulance.
My idea is they're basically like hunter killers from like Terminator. Right? They're just like coming home and go like, yeah, no one's in there. Well, that was a bright orange Lamborghini. No, it was there before. Sorry.
No movement.
I need to go home.
It's like the scanners, right? I know the Ark's got this cloaking thing. But Skywarp literally does it, and it goes like this weird fizzling thing. So
Yeah.
how has that never been noticed?
So Rich said earlier in one of the episodes, he was just like, they're redcoats. They're just being off left, right, and
Yeah,
centre.
they are the red shirts.
Right, and with that being said, guys, hopefully you've enjoyed episode 4. Right, guys, we are back, and it's episode 5 of the overview of the Transformers Netflix series War for Cybertron Trilogy. Episode 5. Let's get straight into what happened in this episode.
Lips!
There was
zombie.
less.
Ultra Magnus is still dead.
Magnus is still dead.
What you say?
Cog is alive. There's a lot of cool shit.
No,
I'm
Cog
excited.
isn't alive. They spray painted one of the other 7
It's
Cogs.
Cog.
No,
He
no, no, no,
speaks.
no.
This one speaks. It is
I'm-
Cog.
If Ultra Magnus has chose you to bear this honor, then I know you are worthy.
No, I'm allowing Cog to be alive because I'm already pissed. My favorite character is now basically used as a corpse to spread a virus. But anyway, let's get straight into
You
happened.
Throw him into that pit where he just comes back to life again.
What? Yeah.
The zombie pit.
We'll just go, wait a minute, whoa. Just have the Lazarus pit in Cybertron. No, okay, so what happened in this episode? Soundwave discovers the code that was being sent from Ultra Magnus' dead corpse.
Analysis of the signal is complete, Lord Megatron. The death of Ultra Magnus initiated a protocol containing a hidden code.
Much of which were built by the Autobots.
It's disappeared, but it's like Alpha Trion's code, and then basically they go, we can plant a virus
No,
that will
Shockwave goes.
screw everyone up.
Shockwave.
Yeah,
The
Shockwave. Shockwave just goes, we can just give everyone...
I can EMP
I'll let you just say it.
Space AIDS.
Yeah, he wants to give everyone space aids on Cybertron and basically mess up the whole system, and it will affect the planet.
The virus will destroy all processors and mainframes that contain the code.
A large percentage of Cybertron utilizes Autobot mainframes. The Decepticons would be adversely affected.
Shockwave.
I must caution. Planet infrastructure will be greatly damaged.
I'll risk it just
Yeah.
for the...
Biscuit.
Does it affect my luscious lips? No, then.
Ah,
Feel free to do it.
It's like, these injections aren't going to fund themselves.
Question, do you think his lips are Autobot technology?
Or maybe.
Oh.
No, they were funded. No, we all know this. It was funded by microtransactions from Raid Shadow.
Because that's how the
Legends.
episode starts, with Soundwave just checking their accounts.
Exactly, they're checking their accounts, making sure, right, his treatment for his lips are going to be
He's
paid by
just
these
a really
microtransactions.
bad character creator.
Exactly. Exactly. So we're going to move on with more of the plot. So then Jetfire is in a prison cell. Everyone's like, I want to join the Autobots. Why? And he basically comes out with, I'm not down with genocide.
The truth, Jetfire. Why are you here?
I won't help Megatron wipe out an entire population.
I'm a good fairy.
Yeah, I don't... He's got a point, like, I joined their cause, but it's not the cause I joined up for now. Which, fair play, that's exactly what Impactor said.
Yeah, to be fair, like at the start of the series,
Yep.
they weren't doing genocidal things.
No, they weren't. They were just basic.
But
yeah.
then
But
Megs
now
is
it has
going
been.
to further and further measures.
Exactly. And then he basically says to Prime's face, oh yeah, did you want to know how Magnus dies? This is how he died. And Prime's just like, no, I don't want to tell. Well, I'm going to tell you anyway.
He murdered Ultra Magnus, a prisoner of war, locked in stasis cuffs, and Megatron just shot him down.
He had his whole chest blown out.
So it's kind of just saying, like, so Megatron has killed not just Alpha Trion, he's also killed your other best friend, Ultra Magnus. So, yeah, he's your enemy for life now. Sorry.
He's a bad man.
Exactly. So then we transition to Bumblebee and Wheeljack, and they found the Allspark, but it's in a place called the Sea of Rust. And they said it could only be navigated by Seekers and stuff.
We got Jetfire, by the way.
Such as Dreadwing.
I wonder how we can possibly
And Dreadwing
find
gets
it.
a drop.
Did you learn this from the Alpha Trion protocols?
No, from Dreadwing. He's an Energon scavenger I knew.
I felt like it was kind of like forced in, like, Dreadwing told me about this. It's kind of like that hilarious thing in the Han Solo movie when they go like, I wish Bosk was on this mission with us. Just casually wink, wink, nudge, nudge a character who might not be in this series. And then obviously we cut to the space bridge. They finally got it working. And then they're like, oh shit, we shouldn't have turned it on. Mirage.
Right.
Let's Mirage the Mirage and keep it hidden. And he basically does a superhero pose and makes it invisible. Awesome.
Superhero landing.
Oh my god, he just do superhero.
He does do a superhero landing.
Superhero landing indeed was done. And then Ultra Magnus's corpse is used to spread the virus across Cybertron, which is kind of scary.
And then the best thing, which we just had so many Star Wars piss takes going from, was Bumblebee's plan to, we need raw energon to power the spaceship. Where are we going to get raw energon from? Jabba the Hutt's palace.
Exactly.
Let's just go to Jabba the Hutt, who's run by...
Sound Blaster.
And I'm sure they must have something to train for.
Exactly. And
Well, they
have
give him
Energon.
They give him Energon for Energon.
No, they give Energon for money,
Yeah,
which they
that's
then
basically it.
spend on what? I don't
Space
know.
hookers, but RC's with them, so it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, finally RC gets to swaggle her sexy ass
Pretty cool.
everywhere.
Which we can talk. Which we could talk about.
You
So-
think she's a lesbo?
So then the funniest thing is, obviously, this virus goes over, and then the most darkest part, I think, other than genocide and other stuff, is basically Jetfire going, oh yeah, Prow, you're from that planet where there was more prisoners than guards, so how did you control them? Yeah, we basically, well, the best way of describing it, if you've
Brain
ever
bomb.
seen, yeah, brain bombs.
You were law enforcement in Praxis, right?
Yes. Until the war. It was a dark chapter in Praxis history. Prisoners outnumbered law enforcement, so the Council created core override implants as a deterrent.
What does that even mean?
It means we can remotely trigger brain detonation.
Blow up his brain module?
So if you've ever seen Suicide Squad, Battle Royale, The Running Man,
And yeah.
you have exploding collars,
It's the
but it's
Running
basically it's the Running Man. So there's a Running Man reference. So basically that's how they kept all the prisoners in check. And Jetfire
So is the
literally
Mexican
goes,
guy.
"I'm cool with this," and Prime's like, "Okay, we'll do it." But then obviously everyone's like, "No Decepticon would really agree with that." he seems to be okay with it. Then we get to meet what we already talked, Sound Blaster. He's got the Merc logo on him, which is proper cool.
Yeah.
And we get to see
I've never
RC
seen
for the
that before.
first
I
time.
didn't even know that was a
Yeah, it's a
Impactor
Mercury thing,
clones.
which is proper cool. We get
It's
to
an
see
angry
RC.
monkey. That is what the Merc symbol looks like, an angry monkey.
It's
also,
true.
what's quite cool is hearing the whole, just don't call him Soundwave.
He really does look like Soundwave.
Yeah, I wouldn't bring that up. He's a little sensitive about being a clone and failed shockwave experiment.
Got it.
Because you don't like that.
Yeah.
You don't
No.
like being Soundwave.
He a bit crazy.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
he
pretty
crazy,
cool.
oh.
Because obviously when we get to what happens, I'll let Ben drop some knowledge about Sound Blaster. So
But
we
he's
got-
black and
Was
he's
I
a gangster.
correct about that knowledge? Because I was.
I'm pretty positive you're right. Yeah, you're pretty right.
is
I
right.
It's
think.
not often I'm right. I'm quite shocked by it.
Exactly. So
Well,
then
in
we
the
jump-
Japanese fluff, wasn't he what happened to Soundwave after he died and he got repaired?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's in the cartoons. But
yeah,
the
him
comics.
and Blaster get an upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To their evolved form.
So we won't bother talking about it later. We'll just explain it now.
yeah,
just do it now.
Basically, Soundwave the toy was basically Sound Blaster was the upgraded form of Soundwave.
Yep. And then basically how they addressed it in this was like, oh yeah, it was a clone that Shockwave got
made.
wrong. So don't bring that up. And I was like, that's really smart. That's a really cool
Little
way
things.
of sorting it out.
See, like the little Easter eggs, like the one thing no one says, all the Decepticons are obsessed with ripping out people's optics.
Yeah.
Which is Megs' line.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Right, okay, so yeah, we then transition to the Sea of Rust, where Jetfire, Prime, and everyone is going through it, and then D literally started screaming because Prowl basically goes, wait a minute, it's wind, and it looks like, I literally just was like, that's Twister. Where are the flying cows? Where's everything else? He gets taken in the sky, Jetfire saves him, and D, I'm pretty positive, said some sort of exploit and goes like, this isn't real, I'm done. Two of my favourite characters, deaf characters I don't like, should have died.
They should have died.
It was Mad Max Fury Road.
No, Rich
Yeah.
them up as the Kessel Run.
It was the Kessel Run. That's exactly
so
what we
many
were thinking.
Star Wars references.
I think I'm in one piece. A Decepticon saving an Autobot? It doesn't feel right.
Then we get an update on the virus, and it's 87%. Just
planet.
infected the planet. So you're just kind of like, well, you said it was going to hurt it a little bit, not 87%.
Oh, we also get a cameo Cliffjumper.
Yeah, we do.
Cliffjumper makes an appearance.
Cameo where Cliffjumper doesn't die.
It's 100%
So far, we don't know. We might
true.
see him impaled later on.
The virus has achieved 87% contamination.
So then everything happens. So everything seems to start going wrong. Mirage's hologram fails, and then Decepticons start attacking them. The virus starts affecting everything that affects the cloaking. We find out there's other bases, obviously with Cliffjumper, and they're losing communication and everything.
All Autobots report to the Ark. Operation Exodus is a go.
You got it, Commander.
And then the Decepticons find out that they've been hiding in the Ark and they know where their home base is and stuff.
No, sort of. The dumbest thing is though, Starscream is standing in the room and he goes, "My seekers have located that Autobots are at a working space bridge." And then Megatron's like, we've seen a lot of activity from Autobots at this space bridge.
This is the final day of the Autobot resistance.
Then why haven't you put people there?
We were there in episode 1 and we thought it was a coincidence.
Yeah.
This thing that can get you off a
there's
dying planet.
There's a patrol, but there's no one actually guarding the space bridge.
He was too busy wanting to do evil things.
He was
used
getting
mind.
Botox.
He basically did a Bond villain who was like, this thing could be really dangerous. But it's okay. We don't need to worry
But
about
then
that.
we get the amazement
Well,
of...
it doesn't work because it's not like we have mechanics or anything.
Yeah, there is a guy that used to really be really good at programming stuff, that guy called Ratchet. Nah, he's probably dead. I'm pretty positive he's dead.
We probably killed him at some
He
point.
probably killed him. It's genocide, right? We killed him.
I mean,
He's on the list.
so far we've discovered the only thing that die is Seekers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Seekers
they
on
are.
Magnus.
What you say?
Oh, you're not going to let that go, are you?
I'm never going to let Spinister's dead. Skywarp's dead. I've just been offed. Characters we just either love or die. Just die.
Hashtag pray for Magnus.
And then we finish with Thriller. No, I'm kidding. The Sea of Rust.
Everybody screaming.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was screaming
screaming,
losing their shit.
and it literally ends on the cliffhanger of literally people.
Zombies.
Moon
Zombies.
Racer does have her arm tugged off.
Yeah, that is actually true.
Like
Moon
she
Racer.
doesn't
Another
have a problem with like fast-moving Decepticons and things
Yeah.
like that.
But
She's a badass at
slow-moving
that.
zombies.
But then
Yeah.
slow-moving zombies, nah.
You need to have, you need to have someone get
Rich has got
happened.
confused here because he thinks Chromia is the green one.
Well, no,
You
yeah.
literally were saying, because there was a scene.
It wasn't explained, but they all look the same. They're just different colours.
Yeah, Chromia and Moonracer, the same person.
The green
same
one that
chassis.
lost her arm is Moonracer.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
because
that
you
was-
literally
but
were
here we
sitting
go.
there.
But this is the funniest thing is you're not a Transformers fan because you'd be like, who the is this person? That's an exact.
Well,
quote.
that's the same
Exactly.
person, just with a different colour.
Exactly.
Like,
But
same as the toys you buy.
But at the same time, you said, "Shock, that one's really purple." It's Shock,
Yeah.
it's always purple. But no, he's really purple with his
it's-
shot.
It's like when
Yeah.
you buy the toys and you buy Starscream and all the Seekers and realise, I've just brought the same toy
But just
15
painted.
times.
But the thing is, like every time we've seen Shockwave, it was in either outside in the dark or in a lab. So it's like really murky. So then he goes into the light and he's like, I'm brighter than you think. And
Well,
it's pretty rough.
Hasbro doing what every computer game does nowadays. You can have the same character in a different color scheme.
Cool.
Transformers did it before it was cool.
So what were people's favourite parts of this episode? I've got mine if you want me to go first.
Yeah, go for it.
My boy Cog transforming and just going, all right, RC, and going beep boop bop and just going Mexican standoff with Sound Blaster.
Cog.
And that's where we ended with that little bit because then we went space zombies. So we don't know what's going to happen. I was like, Mexican standoff. Okay, so we've got Sound Blaster with what looks like a normal pistol and a couple of henchmen and then an ultra death cannon that looks like something from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on a hot fembot just going, what up?
You mean
What
red-
could happen?
You mean resprayed red cog?
No, it's real Cog because they said it's Cog.
Are you sure this isn't Archduke Cogimus III?
No, it's not Cogimus III. It's definitely Cog. I'm allowing
one of his
this.
mates.
I'm allowing this. It's one of his mates. No, that was my favorite part of the episode. Also, I think the introduction of Sound Blaster was really cool because it's just like very like we all were joking, going like, "Well, this is Mos Eisley and that's Jabba the Hutt," and then we're doing.
You think Soundwave is the only one with eyes in the sky? I know who these Autobots are, and dead or alive, they're worth way more than a few lousy cubes of ENERGON.
Like
The other
the
thing
sound
that's
of Sea
nice
of Rust
about
is
that,
that.
it explains why all the background Decepticons look like other Decepticons. Are they all clone Shockwave made?
That is actually true. Conspiracy theory, maybe?
Because you see, like, when he's doing his Hitler speech, we'll describe it as that for now. You see,
Hitler
like, a barricade in different colours. You see
Yeah.
another Skytread, and you're like, are they all just clones?
Yeah, because that's what I think. Like, Rich doesn't really know Transformers as well, but like the thing is, I bet you looking from the outside in, like
They're all
everyone,
the same.
they all look the same, but they got a different color job, so it can be really confusing.
Yeah.
I can see that from my perspective.
Well, he's
going
only
like,
confused several times.
Yeah,
during the
because-
watching
because
this.
if you think
That's
about
why,
it-
like you keep on saying names and things like that. And
Yeah.
like you just need to say them by colour.
Yeah, exactly.
But then that doesn't help me either because
yeah, exactly.
Because then you get two blue ones on
because
screen.
because you know Optimus Prime is red
Obvi-
and blue.
Yeah, red and blue. But there's only
And
one
Sergeant
guy
Cog
who
is red and blue.
Exactly. Like,
It's like there's no Ultra Magnuses.
yeah, okay.
What you say?
But they all have specific. They all look the same except for the minions. The minions are like, oh yeah. So the guys who are really cool, they have unique designs, but then everyone else kind of looks similar. It's fine. So,
Production line.
exactly. So favorite part of the episode then, Ben? Anything stands out for you?
Has to be the Jetfire Proud conversation.
Yeah,
the
that's
whole
pretty
brain
dark.
thing is
It's
very
pretty cool.
dark. Transformers has always been garish 80s cartoon. When you start introducing the stuff from like the comic books, like IDW did, you get those dark stories. Like I've only just gone to the comic books because I like Last Stand of the Wreckers. Yeah. And you get those
Go read that, boys.
dark things like the brain bullets that the guy invents. And,
Yeah, it's kind of like it's-
Overlord turning a prison into basically a giant gladiator combat thing for his own amusement.
Straight
You
up.
that never gets put across in Michael Bay or anything else.
No, but it's kind of like that realization. Like, here we go. Here's another Star Wars thing because this episode just basically we were like Star Wars. It's basically like in Rogue One when you see the Rebel Alliance guy kills the other guy because he's like, you know too much and you're gonna speak if you get captured, so I'm gonna kill you. And you see a dark side of the rebels
great
where
to
you're
see
like,
that.
oh shit, yeah, they might do shady shit for the greater good. It's kind
For
of
the
cool.
greater good.
How can this be for the greater good? Shut it!
Rich, what's your favorite part of the episode? Is there anything stand out to you? Or
Yes.
Go for it.
The fact that somebody can finally use a scanner.
Scanners!
Hold for weapons check.
And it was, and it was a scanner in Mos Eisley. Go scan everybody. Yeah, it was kind of fun seeing our first scan.
They can make like loads of money.
Exactly.
You know,
thanks for
Like
that.
trading people.
scans come back.
Yes,
if you listen to episode 1, we just rant about how funny a scanner is.
We've
It's
been
great.
doing it all the way through.
It's kind of trickled down because there's less scanning. We want
now there's torchlights. Now it's just torchlights.
So I don't know if anyone from the Netflix series will ever listen to this, but in chapter 2 and 3, we want more scanning and more pouty lips.
The one time they need to use it to work out if someone's a spy or not. Now won't scan him.
Yeah, they
what
don't,
are
yeah.
you doing?
Exactly. D, so your favourite part of
RC's ass, probably. That's about it.
Yeah, so RC showing up was kind of cool. Finally. It's kind of like, because we've had Elita 1, we've had Chromia, and
now
we were
we've
like,
got
we're waiting for
Moon
RC.
Racer and RC.
Yeah.
See, I didn't even know who that was. I was just kind of like, what,
Moon
that
Racer?
is, yeah, because I was like, I don't know the name of
it.
it.
Her name was the show said it.
Yeah, because Ben was like, that's Moon Racer, and the first thing I said was like, is he making a Michael Jackson reference? Because the first thing I was like, wait a minute, Jetfire's really tall. Is he trying to say that Jetfire looks like Michael Jackson when he turns to that mech? And then I was
Doesn't
like,
matter if you're
no.
black or white.
Exactly. But no, yeah. So yeah, we're gonna get straight into the finale, guys.
Oh, come on. We know who the big boy's turning up.
We know
he's
we've
gonna turn
ruined
up.
it by the trailer, but we pray.
Yeah, there's a big boy. There's a big boy
was
coming.
It one big red herring? Because, by the way, you do realise most of the trailer they released was episode 1.
Actually, that's 100% true. That is 100% true.
And some of the things in the trailer.
There was a trailer?
Yeah, that's it. Like, I didn't even know that the Transformers things existed until
Exactly.
about 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I've got to believe.
About 5 hours ago.
All
Like,
Rich's knowledge of Transformers is like Lee plays
Bikes
a card
more
game.
powerful
There's
than
also
tanks.
a cartoon, and also the fact the card game's stupid. Because how can a bike be better than a tank? Makes no sense.
Because it turns out Decepticons are massively inept at shooting things.
Exactly, they're like stormtroopers.
And we found out fembots are snipers extraordinaire.
Well, we haven't seen RC and Moon Racer do anything yet, apart from Moon Racer freaking out. And
RC is an
she saw Zombie and
She probably freaked out.
Yeah,
she was
proper
moving
freaked
that slowly.
because they basically was like, you've ripped my arm off, but then you've got RC literally in a Mexican showdown with Sound Blaster with Cog as
I
the
suppose
full
you've got to
weapon.
have one inept fembot to make the others look better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Well, Moon Racer is
I mean,
the
that's
youngest
whole
one.
I mean,
so.
that's the whole reason why.
She's the youngest one. Offer. She's got
Isn't
customs.
that the whole reason behind Ultra Magnus? To make Prime look better.
Oh.
What you say?
Right, let's go watch episode 6, and yeah, we'll be back very, very soon. Okay, guys, and we're back for episode 6, the finale of the War for Cybertron trilogy on Netflix series, episode 6, and we're going to talk about the overview, our best thoughts, and then our overview of the whole series in general. So it's a little bit juicy this episode.
Shit got real.
Shit definitely got real. So what happened? Let's get straight into the juice and the meat, and then basically, then we're going to talk about our favorite bits. So it caps off pretty much with Sound Blaster and the Mexican standoff with B and RC, and they escape, and B shuts down because the virus infects him. And we're like, what the heck's going to happen?
Nothing happens.
And they escape
Easily.
in,
Minor convenience.
in a
speeder.
From Star Wars.
Speeder from Star Wars.
The Phantom 2.
In the Phantom 2. In the Phantom 2. And then we cut to The Walking Dead, or the music video of Thriller.
Thriller!
Exactly. And just straight up, Moon Racer dies.
What you say?
Ripped apart.
Yeah,
She's
that's
ripped
just
apart, kind
pointless.
of like in Shaun of the Dead or any other zombie film you've seen. And then Prime holds her for a brief second and goes, oh shit, I've got to get the Allspark. Drop and keep going.
And then Rich points out the big problem with that zombie scene.
Go
Prime
for it.
turns into a truck, rams his way through, and Rich just goes, why are they all doing that?
They don't think.
They're retarded.
They're being hoarded. And then obviously, one thing leads to another. We find out that the zombies are called Sparkless.
What are these things? The Sparkless!
Which I think is great. It's like, oh, we're being attacked by the horde of Sparkless.
Because they haven't got glitter.
So it's Sparklesses? If there's a load of them? Sparklessai? So yeah, they're basically again attacked. They get the Allspark. Whoop-de-doo. They come
Zombies
and
die.
then they get escaped. And then we get taken to the Ark, and basically we find out the Decepticons are basically attacking them.
Today, we leave no Autobots standing. We free Cybertron.
Which is amazing because it basically looks like someone from Zulu, because they're all just basically on the hill and they go, fire everything at the Ark.
Fire everything.
They fire. Seekers go beep, 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 and it's like no damage.
But the thing is, this is the thing. If you think about it, they haven't got like mega amazing weapons. So he's like, shoot.
So why are they wasting the rounds?
Exactly. So they're like, shoot and destroy the Ark, and we're just like, oh, we've got a pistol. I don't care. Keep shooting it.
They're light scouts, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. So they're like, everyone keeps shooting this thing with a pistol. It's like basically if you were playing Halo and you had a pistol and we're like, blow up that Scorpion tank. What with? This pistol.
To
oh.
be fair, the pistols could do that.
Yeah, the pistol could do it in Halo. Okay, fair play.
That's not a good analogy.
And it's pretty, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I apologize. So let's go with the Needler. Needler won't break up a tank, probably, right? Okay.
It probably would.
A combat knife.
Halo, yeah.
You can punch a tank to death in Halo.
A Spartan can run up and punch a tank to death.
That's 100%. That's 100% true. And then we also have the badass entrance of Jetfire arriving as he kebabs a guy and then faces off with Starscream.
Traitor! I rip your optics out!
He drop kicks one Seeker, then jumps to the other and turns him into literal... I can't even describe
7 parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it becomes
Shing,
7
shing,
Seekers.
shing, shing, shing.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree with that. And then obviously, as the fight ensues, we have Astro Train shows up. That's pretty cool.
And does.
But he
Basically,
looks good doing it.
He looks cool, just like, I'm here. Awesome. And then
I'm a toy, buy me.
And then yeah, pretty much like Soundwave arrives and goes like, oh wait a minute, Laserbeak's found that Prime and Hound are buggering off to Sector 7.
It's always Sector 7!
Laserbeak reports. Optimus Prime en route to Sector 7.
I'm going to retrieve the Allspark and tear Prime to pieces.
Sector 7, yeah, they're going to Sector 7 where the space bridge is. So then Megatron's like, oh shit, wait a minute, we've been fighting.
Why are they going there?
Wait a minute. And the best thing is, I realize now when everyone's like pointing out flaws of how stupid it is, but he's so focused on destroying the Autobots, he's forgetting things. I honestly think he's so focused on stuff, he's forgetting about the simple things.
Jetfire says it, he's become so obsessed with beating you, nothing else matters. He wants to beat
He just wants to kill Prime.
Well,
Which is quite
the thing
funny.
is, do you think he feels that unloved child because he didn't get a protocol or a matrix?
Well, he does say that, doesn't he? He's like, I didn't get the Matrix, I didn't get this, you got it.
Into Prime and points out, you could have been the greatest leader Cybertron ever had.
Exactly.
He's like, I am the greatest leader. You're just dicks.
You could have been Cybertron's greatest leader, but your thirst for power and need for revenge has blinded you. So it is you and your matrix of leadership that shall rule.
Exactly. I'm fighting. We get Prime and Megatron have a bit of a fight. A scuffle, should we say?
And then Jetfire saves the day again.
Exactly.
No. The best part is though, everyone is Optimus's living shield.
Yes, okay.
Crummy gets shot. This guy gets shot. That guy gets shot.
We are gonna get to the hilarious Prime does parkour / Donkey Kong level to get up to where the Allspark is or whatever it is. But Teletran 1 gets turned on because Wheeljack's like, oh yeah, why do we need anything when we can do this?
Give me a miracle, Wheeljack.
Ha! Who needs a miracle when you got Teletran 1?
And he basically turns it on, and then the Ark just goes, I'm going to fire everything. So he fires all the photons, as you were saying, Ben, and just
It's
basically...
literally phasers from Star Trek. It's the Enterprise D doing a 360 phaser.
And keeps blowing up shitloads of things. And then we were laughing because we were like, well, it's just destroyed all the Decepticons, but then we forget, like, he's converted pretty much the whole planet.
They might have
so
an
it's like a
army of
horde army. Yeah, he just probably has a horde army, and he's just like, just kill everything. That's fine.
Yeah, but the point is it was killing everything.
Yeah. And then we just keep fighting. So the battle ensues. We have some craziness, like Impact sacrifices have to save Ratchet. AKA our favorite character is Ratchet, I think. At this
Ratchet is the one who just shows you that nice grey of the wall.
Exactly. Yeah. Ratchet is our boy. The Allspark eventually gets thrown into the space bridge, and Prime's like, "Oh shit, my favorite D20."
You mean the D20?
You kept saying like, "Don't roll a crit, don't roll a one,
don't roll a one."
And then something happened, and I smiled because
you jizzed yourself, sir.
I did. Omega Supreme shows up and just goes, "Oh yeah, so the Ark's been shooting everything. Now I'm gonna shoot everything." So that's better than having a spaceship. Having Godzilla turn up and just go, I kill everything.
Kongs the Seekers. He slaps them, grabs them, and...
He's straight. I think that's a homage to when Unicron smacks them out of the sky. I'm pretty positive. It's just straight.
Well, he just sucks them.
It's true, but just
that's
smash.
Elite's job.
True. So then we obviously find out because everyone's like, "Why the hell's he turned up?" He's like, "I'm a rogue. I'm a rogue guardian." Oh shit!
My will is my own. I just don't like Megatron.
Cool.
There's going to be a bigger civil war.
And then everything happens. So then we have the cool moment of Elite One saying, "I'm staying behind."
I'm not leaving.
What do you mean?
Someone has to stay and protect what's left of Cybertron.
Alita.
This wasn't the life I imagined for us either. But it's one worth fighting for.
That's cool. Because we've liked, throughout the whole series, we've talked how cool Alita 1 is.
Yeah, she's amazing.
And you're kind of like hit or miss in like the comic books or whatever if you don't like Alita 1 or you like Alita 1.
She's amazing.
But it's kind of like you were saying, she's like guerrilla warfare on Cybertron.
She's awesome.
Yeah. So, awesome. She's doing her thing.
She's the badass Princess Leia.
She is.
Yeah, pretty much. That's actually a good analogy. She is Princess freaking Leia. That's a good analogy right there.
I try my best.
Enough said. Then it's kind of interesting because obviously the space bridge is destroyed, and then we have a kind of weird alien moment where we hear beeps, and then it goes, "Unknown vessel is arriving." So,
which raises the question.
Yeah.
So original G1, Nemesis chases Ark, they both crash land, blah blah blah.
yes.
There's no Nemesis ship that goes through that space gate.
No, there's
And
no.
how Decepticons know where they are.
Yeah.
At that point, we don't know how long they've been floating in space, switched off.
Completely agree with that.
Yeah, so it could be Decepticons. It could be Nemesis. Nemesis would be cool. Like
It could be
called Nemesis.
Predacons.
It also could be Quintessons. So the lovely guys that have 17 million faces.
Oh, do you
'Cause it
know
would
what?
make
I've just
sense.
had an evil thought now.
Go for it.
This unidentified vehicle thing heading towards the Ark. What if it's a human space shuttle?
That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool because there's that woman that always helps them. I forget her name.
Yeah, but that'd be cool because what if they don't crash land in prehistoric and they just make it modern? Ooh.
That'd be pretty cool.
Ooh.
But then also the fact is it's kind of interesting because we're thinking, right, so it's Siege, and then if they're following the toy line,
Earthrise.
Earthrise, which basically has the Quintessons in it. There is a Quintesson
Yeah,
geezer,
and
so
then
that
it's
could
Kingdom,
make sense.
so-
And then so there's some cool stuff. We're excited. So, best bit of the episode, and then your general thoughts. Who wants to go? Mine obviously is Omega Supreme.
Omega Supreme, so the Guardians have chosen a side in this conflict. My actions are my own Megatron.
I don't need to say anything. The guy is a mother trucking gangster. If that toy was, if I could afford
Affordable.
that toy, I would buy it. But it's too freaking expensive. But it's beautiful, and it's amazing that he King Kong the shit out of everybody. And they homaged Unicron by basically him swatting jets out of the sky. That was pretty cool. Who wants to go next?
I'm pretty much with you on that one. To be
Yeah,
honest.
Omega Supreme is cool.
Robot.
Omega Supreme is cool. If you don't like Omega Supreme, you're an idiot. Just saying this all. The guy is like not smart, but it's like
what happened to him though at the end?
exactly. We don't know where he's gone. But the best thing about it is
He's
just
gone.
like you would like if you had someone of that size and capability to go to battle with, I would take Godzilla to a battle.
Oh, that's the unidentified vehicle heading towards the Ark. It's just Mega Scene floating
Oh,
in space.
that could be
Help
cool.
me.
It could be another
Because
spaceship.
like you've now got Mega Supreme and they've got the spaceship.
Yeah.
Whatever that was called. I can't
The
remember.
Ark.
The Ark. That is literally 2 unkillable weapons.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's just stay here.
That's what you
kill
said.
Megatron.
That's what you said when
Don't
they said,
leave.
"We've got the Joe Robot.
Like,
Just kill
literally
everything."
Now you have the weapons to win the war.
But then we need
no,
to
it's like, we'll still
we need
leave.
to
We'll just
fight.
leave.
Yeah.
We'll leave
but
the
then
big guy.
but then the thing is as well because obviously if you play the card game, there's that amazing card or debatable card called Dare and Escape. So Autobots, even in the comics, they're always escaping. They're pretty much the best way of
Pussies.
describing it is we're not going to say pussies.
Retreat.
Yeah, they're basically, because we keep on bringing up Star Wars analogy, they are the Rebel Alliance. They constantly keep on fighting, and then they go, oh, wait a minute, we need to escape.
Megatron says it several times. The resistance will die.
We need to leave.
Yeah, how many
really
times did
quickly.
they run away just during this series?
Oh, we lost count. It's the same count as
It's
how
no
many
longer
Seekers
Autobots
die.
roll out, it's Autobots run, bitches.
Yeah, it wasn't. There was no
Fucking
rolling
run.
out.
Oh, come on.
There was a little
Consider
bit of
it.
driving. There was driving in this episode. I was
Yeah,
like,
they
did they
actually
forget they had wheels? So no, Ben, what was your favorite part of the episode?
I've got to say, I don't know. I haven't watched the entirety of G1. I like Jetfire
Wuss.
from like the ENERGON, the Unicron trilogy cartoons.
Okay, yeah, fair play.
So Don't blare.
Don't blare. That was his generation. That was
my
his
generation was Beast Wars, boy. I
That
was
was his
92 and that
generation
was
as
out in
well.
98. It's all
True.
about Optimus Prime or Grolan Kingdom. Right, it's got to be Jetfire because it was just cool. I like it. I like characters who like, even if the villains, that noble whole, I won't kill them while they're prisoners, I won't do this, I won't do that, I won't do what's wrong. And then just seeing him kick ass in that episode by dropping missiles, chopping someone who took, it's awesome.
He just
kick ass.
It's just basically Pacific Rim Sword. That's amazing.
Yeah.
He just basically was like,
And it was just
Pacific Rim
cool
Sword.
to see.
Why has he got it though?
Because he's cool.
Because the writers hate you, D.
That's it.
Yeah. Rise, Amy.
So, D, what was your favourite moment of the last episode? What was your favourite moment? Or was there anything that stood out? Because obviously, Rich, me, Omega, Ben, we'll say the J word because you don't like addressing him. Anything stand out?
Overall, I think it was actually all right.
Yeah?
It had that nice sort of random pacing where I think it was speeded up. And even though there were moments you sat there and went, just blow it up. Stop about. But it was like...
Stop monologuing.
Yeah.
Stop monologuing.
Oh, the Manito's Manotron stopped and did the evil villain speech.
But
Are you
remember-
going to stop and do the monologue? Just get on with it, you dumbass.
But we also remember goodies and baddies. Like, it's shocking when they don't do a James Bond speech and they kill someone because it's that impactful. Like...
What? Or like Ultra Magnus death?
Yeah,
Boom!
Ultra
Yeah.
Magnus
I'm
dead.
not
He's
being
straight
brutal
up.
here.
No, but it's obvious. It's like he's straight up. That was shocking, and that's why I've reacted like that because I'm just kind of like, okay, he's kept him around for several episodes, and now he's just offed him. Holy shit! I didn't see that coming.
What you say?
It's just kind of
Well,
funny
you
when they
thought
just
were
go
going
like,
to reformat him, didn't you?
I hope so, but no. He's just a floating corpse for a virus. It's kind of sad. But I don't know. I enjoyed the series. I can understand why people said the first couple of episodes are slow, but then it gets really good.
No,
and then
I think the first 2 episodes were slow. I think they were just fanboy things. You had
Yeah.
all these characters bit, and then you had boo, 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 bang, bang,
Get
boom,
the
boom.
fan service out
Yeah,
of the way.
and then it's like
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, because I thought like from episodes 3 onwards, it seemed really mature and strong. We didn't have we had the odd killing here and there, which was cool, but it was like that was definitely a mature audience.
The
it was
deaths
aimed
were
for.
more pivotal.
Yeah, of
episode
course.
It
3
was
onwards.
definitely
Of
the
course.
opening where Megatron leads Ultra Magnus to the gravesite.
Yeah,
like
to
the
the
war
gravesite, yeah.
memorial. That's like 9/11 shit right there.
Well, yeah, that was the war they
Yeah.
both fought. in.
That was like
That
straight
was-
up hardcore. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, so
But for
basically it was that.
Ultra Magnus, because that's the thing, Ultra Magnus is
Now,
lying to
now, the
Megatron,
question
and that's
is-
where they go.
Yeah.
Did he take him there because that's the only place he can pass on the protocols?
Oh, maybe.
No,
Because
because
he
the
talks
protocol
to
just
the
goes.
door.
Okay,
You see them
protocols
light
or
up.
space aids, as we called it.
Okay.
It's space station, but no, Ultra Magnus lights up and it just goes. Flying everywhere. I
But
think that was a
He saw the
symbol.
lights go up the temple first, so I'm thinking that's the only... Or some, I don't know. 'Cause
Well, he
why
just
would the
starts
chamber be
glowing.
empty?
The midichlorians start to react with him when he starts to die.
I've been wondering, what are midichlorians?
It's heroin.
So I feel that might be very symbolic. So obviously,
Yeah, that
like
was very-
you've got like Magnus and basically saying throughout before, like the whole thing was just like, right, we fought together in this battle, right? We're
bros, man, we're bros.
Yeah, we're brothers.
Battle
and
bros
then
before hoes.
effectively, he then just goes, fudge it, I'm going to cross the line, and he shoots him in the back. Quite ironic because Magnus could have shot him in the back, but he didn't, and then he basically
Yeah, but-
kills him. And then from there, if you look at every
I
decision.
think that's the proper turning point.
Yeah, because if you think
That
about
is
it,
the-
every decision that Megatron says, he just isn't that smart. Like, he just goes on, I just need to kill everything.
Well,
I don't
literally,
care.
at
The
that
virus,
point,
do it. Whatever this. So
he's-
that's like a turning
after
point.
He
point,
shoots
yes.
Magnus in the back. He loses
No, he
his
doesn't. He shoots
Jiminy
in the front.
Cricket in Jetfire.
Yeah, that's true.
He literally has everyone who's... It's Daenerys again. He loses everyone that kept him sane.
It's true. So he's insane. And he's gone a
Because
little
the
bit mad.
Nazi star screen.
Can you imagine one of them as one of us? They wouldn't be true Decepticons.
For ages, you're right. He has Jetfire, who's next to him, who's okay and calm, and he has like other people. And
then you've got Shockwave and
Shockwave,
Starscream.
who keeps revealing, maybe I should touch him. Maybe here's my secret weapon. Oh boy,
I've
been
got a
working
chemical weapon.
Yeah, he's been this
I've
little
got a weapon
prick
of
hiding in his lab, and he just pops up and goes, Megatron, now would you like my services? And then you've got Starscream, who's just proper propagandering and proper going off it. And then
that
who
was
does he do?
awesome to see that propaganda side of him.
It
Of
is
like,
really cool.
Look
But
at
then
this. They tried to shoot me first.
But Megatron does that to
Genius.
start with. We tried negotiations and they shot poor Skywalk Mark III's head off.
Yeah, they're killing everybody.
And he's using the propaganda to get everyone on his side to make him look like the hero and Megatron Optimus to look like the villain. But then when he promotes Starscream, oh yeah, Jetfire betrayed me, blah, 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 and then Ultra Magnus lied to me, blah, 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 and it's just like he slowly descends into madness and he puts two of the scummiest twats next to him. Even Soundwave's
But
like,
no, that could be because if you think about it, that is the turning point because he's like, he wasn't completely down for using sound waves, not sound waves,
Shockwaves,
torches and stuff like that, but then he conforms to that. He wasn't 100% down for promoting Starscream, but he did. So that's probably like also the spiral of like, he doesn't care anymore.
Is it really weird that we're actually talking more about Megatron than Optimus? Because Optimus is just a pussy and nobody likes him.
Should we get back to Optimus? I think he kind of...
he's a
twat. No,
twat.
this is his growth story. That's the thing.
Yeah.
This isn't Prime who's like... This isn't
This isn't the Prime we all
you
know
the
and love
touch.
and adore. Yeah.
More importantly, he just
This
starts
feels
turning
like
more and
he's
more...
Orion Pax.
Yeah.
You know, it's his...
Like he's growing into the role. Like I feel like from the get-go we took the piss out of him because he does make stupid decisions. Like straight
Power of faith.
Please continue to have faith, Alita.
So if the gifts had gone the other way,
Yes.
Tryon said Prime will get better with the Matrix. Magnus was always better with the knowledge.
Yeah.
Is that because Magnus was always meant to be the Jiminy Cricket until Prime was ready?
Probably. Well, the thing is like
I'm
if
going to
you-
use Jiminy Cricket for
Jiminy
every
Cricket.
sidekick now.
Every sidekick. You're a Jiminy Cricket to my Pinocchio. I
Or
don't
was
know.
just Ultra Magnus the Krillin to Goku?
Yeah.
Oh my god! Yes.
I think I completely agree. Like we do laugh at how stupid Prime is, but then as soon as like Magnus dies and he starts,
He
listening,
becomes Michael Bay Prime. He just straight up kills people, doesn't give a shit, tells
No,
everyone
but
what
he
to
starts-
do.
he starts taking
Dragon Ball.
Oh shit!
No, but if you think
wishes.
right, so no, grants wishes.
And yeah, then he's thrown it away. It'll
One
disappear for the year till it recharges.
Oh dear
It's all
gosh.
planned.
I feel like he is.
Summon the mighty Shenron, which is Omega
Seeker-
Supreme.
Oh my god, Seekers have scouters.
But no, the thing is like a leader. To me, a leader like will step up and do something noble.
amazing.
To me, is like obviously he's not 100% the best thing, but
love
to me,
that pink chick,
to
don't
me,
you, Rich?
To me, a turning
I do,
point is obviously Elita 1 is like amazing. We all know Elita 1's amazing, but I think the turning point for Prime is obviously when Magnus dies. But then he also goes, you know what? I don't really need to go to the space, the space of Rust or whatever, the Sea of Rust or whatever. But I'll go. Why? Well, you know, I'll go. That's what leaders do. And you know, and everyone's like, no one returns from there. And he's kind of like, yeah, but I'll go. It reminds me, for me, like, here's another fun symbolic scene. We don't really enjoy Batman versus Superman. It's not a perfect movie, but the best scene in that is when everyone's running away and Bruce Wayne runs into the smoke. He's the only one.
that is pretty
He's the only one who says, I'm going to help people. I'm going to run in there. And that's
And he
what
finds a
Prime
little
kinda does.
girl and gets moody.
Oh, it's because his CEOs. This is how stupid the movie is. The CEOs are like, I think we should stay in the building. Why? I think it might be safe. And then you see people alone. It's like, mistakes were made.
What is it? I got told this about work once. A boss is someone who sends someone to do something they wouldn't do.
Yeah.
A leader is the one who goes and does it.
Yeah, and that's
Do
what Prime
what's
does.
expected.
And Prime basically goes and I think it's just like, this is not all leaders are perfect, and it shows at the beginning that he's not perfect. And then later on he kind of grows in and starts listening to people, and you see that through others. Like Elita 1 doubts him. Ratchet hates him because Ratchet's like, you're an idiot. I don't trust you. I don't like you. But by the end of it, Ratchet's like, you know, you got a point, but I still don't like you. And he's probably going to appreciate him more for what he does probably later on down the line.
Prime does have good hench people because he has Alita 1 who believes in him right up into the very end. She's like, I'm getting really frustrated with you now. This is getting really, but I'm still following you. Then you've got Wheeljack who never doubts Prime for 1-2 seconds. Like he is just there constantly. Like, yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this. Yeah, and he's the one who talks to Ratchet. Who goes, no, Ratchet, can you just listen to me?
Then
Can
you've
listen
got
to
like
Prime?
Red Alert who says, I was a doctor, you gave me a blaster, and now I'm a soldier.
They gave me a blaster and now I'm a soldier.
Yeah.
They've all got stuff thrust on them that they
Yeah,
didn't want.
but they're accepted because they're put in a position where it's a civil war. Not everyone wants to fight. Like not everyone wants to do it.
Prime got given a glowy ball shoved in his chest and goes, oh, I guess I've got it.
It's genuinely like why I like Bumblebee at the start of this, because he's like, I
An
don't
asshole.
want to fight, I
Yeah.
just want to live.
I was hired to find ENERGON, not be dragged into an Autobot crusade.
Is survival a stupid crusade?
I wanna survive.
And it makes sense when you have that little Alpha Trion speech of, you were picked because you want peace.
Yeah, you are a difference maker. But obviously, all of us like he's a punk, he's stupid. But he'll grow into something that we all know, which pisses all of us off because we're not all big Bumblebee fans. But we all know he'll be pretty much the guy who's like the second hand to Prime. He's basically going to be like, I'll go in a fight with this guy because I think Prime is a great leader. But also, have you seen Bumblebee? He's pretty badass, and that's the guy you want to go in a battle with. And also Omega Supreme. Done. So we enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I was
It got
really
better.
worried. It got better. It grew.
I
on
have
me.
watched this series 3 times in 3 days.
You are-
and
you're-
I'm
you're a
going to
junkie.
probably make it a 4th tomorrow when Dave's round to finish my patio.
Oh, that's true. Dave hasn't seen it. That'd be fun to hear what he says. But I agree with what some of my friends said. Like,
He'll-
the first
you know
couple of
what? He
episodes
will
seem a bit
love-
fan servicey, and then it gets real. And
He
better.
will love the representation of Megs. It's the same reason he's an Empire fan for Star Wars, because they're not all bad guys.
Yeah.
Stormtroopers aren't inherently bad. Decepticons aren't
aiming
inherently
they are.
bad.
At aiming.
At aiming. But
Ba-ding.
it's like you see Jetfire signed up for one thing, and it's been turned into another.
Yeah, but that's
Impact is
yeah,
the same.
But that's the
That's
story
what you
with the
want.
Decepticon cars from the very beginning.
But that's the best thing about it, because everyone thought it was like, okay, it's good and evil, it's done, until they effectively
no,
said
that was G1.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the original thought was like, okay, it's good versus evil, that's it. But then they expanded it
Sell
into saying like,
toys.
it's just a revolution that then gets corrupt, and then it gets completely changed from what it originally wanted
And
to
that's
do.
thanks to the comics.
And it's really cool because you're just kind of like, oh yeah, it's good versus evil, blah blah blah. But then it's just like, no, we're not evil. We're just like revolutionaries that basically are now run by a dictator, and that's shown in this really
See,
well.
what I like is it shows what happens when a revolution starts, but what happens after it's over.
It's really good. I love the Decepticon, the whole cause behind it. I thought it was well done. I can understand why some people might say it's a bit weird with lips and stuff, but I want to hear the person who does not know anything about Transformers or anything. I want your genuine, honest
You've
opinion.
just sat here.
You've watched the episode. What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, it's a thing.
It's a. I love it. So simple.
I mean, yeah, like I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, like I've listened to you talk for the past 10 minutes about all the stuff like
You don't know.
expanded universe going on.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, look, what the?
What the? Yeah, exactly.
It's the thing. I think it's.
But you know, I think I've got the gist of what's going on.
Yeah, but it's
I
an
mean,
interesting
it
because
hasn't sort of turned me into a Transformers.
no, yeah, but it's interesting to see from your perspective. It's just kind of like, okay, so we've got villains, but they're using propaganda, and the good guys
Yeah, like,
are kind of
I
like.
like all of that, but
Yeah.
now to me it has gone to like Megatron is just I will do evil things.
Exactly.
And Prime is I want to do good things.
Yeah.
And now it's just black and white now.
It is.
You know,
Like,
I want to see more. Like, I don't want them to go to Earth.
You want the
Prime,
grey
like-
areas.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I want the grey areas. I want to see that civil war. With
Yeah, yeah,
Rita.
This is
You know.
what we were saying. I want the prequel to the prequel.
Yeah.
I want Tannhauser Gate. I want Alpha Trion. I want to see the mines, the gladiator pits, and all the bad shit. that
And you
went
have
down.
all those. You have all those in comic book form, but that just involves reading and not on a visual
Yeah.
aspect. But sod that, pretty pictures. But I think like if it's me and we're going into the second season, I want it to be like Rich was saying in 2 parts. I want it to be more like you've got the arc, what the heck's going on there, and then you've got like Megatron is he off Cybertron? Is that why that the arc is seeing an unknown shuttle? Is that Megatron on another ship or whatever? Or is it Megatron's trying to figure stuff out and you've got Elite One doing guerrilla warfare? Because I would love that, because that's like, to me, I want like hilarious. I thought it was going to be more Rogue One-esque, this, because of all like the fighting. And it didn't have
I
those kind of
rebel.
elements.
That's why it's called a rebellion.
We want to rebel.
I rebel.
Because,
you know.
because there's a lot more Autobots than we originally thought.
Oh yeah,
they're
all
all in different bases.
They are, and then they could bring them in, and then they kind of cover their tracks really well, because like, where the f they come from? It's like, oh, there's another outpost. I've just come from there. It's okay, and you're like, that's hilarious and simple storytelling.
That's
without
more
explaining
of an
too much.
interesting story than Optimus Prime coming to Earth and
Yeah.
then befriending a load of humans.
Oh mate, wait until you watch G1, where you're just kind of like, I'm on an oil rig. Oh, we're Autobots. We're here to help people. Oh, let's be
Yeah.
friends.
Okay.
High five. Or Sam with Wiki.
I want to see robots. Like, if I'm going to watch Transformers, I want to see.
You want to see robots? You want to see
Transformers.
fighting?
See,
Fair
the
play.
thing is, it also covers it because they're only in one city. You've got like the Sea of Rush. You've got other cities. They even they mention Camia, what do you call it, for the fembots who came over from there.
Yeah.
They mention Velocitron.
Yeah, and then you Vincent, obviously the planet Prowls from as well. So you've got all these other regions they've all come from.
Yeah.
So it's kind of really cool to have that. But then that's like, to me, if it's like you're looking at an expanded universe, it's kind of like what Marvel have done. They've said these things, and then they'll integrate them eventually into it, and they've done that over time. If they haven't, you can then just go and read a comic or just look it up on Wikipedia, which is the most easiest way of doing stuff. But like for us, it's kind of like, this is better than expected, because you are always worried when you have series, because you're like, some of them have been good, some of them have been great, some of them have been like mixed, and then there's some that have been like, WTF, what the hell is
lips.
Exactly.
And
But,
stop
yeah.
with the sheer volume of reflectors. There's just thousands of them, and they're all even the same color. Rich just got so confused with the same robot with a different color. My God.
It would be confusing to a lot of people. It would be.
The thing is, I walk away from the series after sitting and watching it with Rich. It's like Star Wars. You can just watch the core films and enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah.
Robots beating the crap out of each other and a
Yeah.
civil war. If you want to delve deeper, you get more off it. So like me, you and D know characters and why they're different colours and why they're this and the different planets. He's just going, that sounds cool.
Yeah, that's
you watch
cool.
Star Wars, you go, who's Rebels? Who's Kanan Jarrus?
But that's where it gets interesting, because it's kind of like that. Because if you've been impacted by something, you then want to go out and do stuff. Like, I never watched Star Wars when I was a kid because my dad was like, sci-fi sucks. Action movies are incredible. So I grew up with like Arnie movies. I grew up with Lethal Weapons. I grew up with like really good action movies. And then as soon as like college and later school, in like primary school and like not primary, it is primary school, isn't it? No,
you go primary,
high school and college, when they were going like, do you know what sci-fi is? I'm like, hell no. And they were like, well, here is Akira, here is Ghost in the Shell, and here is Star Wars. Have fun. And I was like, okay. And then you've got cool sci-fi now, like Battlestar Galactica, The Expanse, and other stuff like that, where you're just kind of like, this is good sci-fi for people. And it's like, it draws you in, but it's not for everyone's cup of tea. Like, I can agree with Rich, like, who the is this character? They all look the same.
Yeah.
Like, we're laughing because we're like, oh, that person's dead. And then they might be alive and they're in the scene and they're just like, well, that's not explained. Like, I love how many times you guys took the piss going like, that's not Cogley. Even though in the, even with the speech, the subtitle says, Cog says this. And then everyone's like, that's not Cog, it's just spray painted.
That's Cog Jr.
Yeah. It's Cog's
that's
Jr.
Cog's brother.
Cogmus the Third.
Yeah, 100% agree.
It's Carmine from Gears of War.
Oh my God, it's the Carmine family.
But that's super classic because it's Carmine's brother, Carmine's other brother and stuff.
Cog and Carmine, he's made a proper link there.
Exactly.
Yep.
Are they the same? They might be the same. Well, that was. Well, we did take the piss. It was like Cronia and her 7 cogs. It's good times.
Banters.
But no, yeah, it was a good series. We're definitely probably going to do season 2. Rich, will you join us or probably not? I don't know.
I'll try to.
You try to.
If he's free, he'll come.
Yes. If there's
That's
food
my
and he's
motto
free,
in life.
you will come. Right, guys, if you've enjoyed the whole series, don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment below. Tell us your thoughts in the comments or when we post this on Facebook or wherever. Your thoughts on the series. We had a ton of fun, and we'll be bringing more of the latest chapters when they come out. So, in the mighty words of Megatron, I've got beautiful, bootylicious lips, and also I have a cock light.
Hashtag pray for Magnus.
Yes, hashtag pray for Magnus. And remember, to support the
Shockwave
Decepticon...
Corpse right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Carrying it like Kermit the Frog.
I was going to say, he might be doing some weird stuff
There's
with
a
it.
reason why he has a gun on his hand.
No, he's
first.
literally sat there with him on his hand going, what's that, Magnus? That's a really good idea.
It is a bit
no,
weird.
It's like Quarantine from Red Dwarf. He's going to go crazy and start talking to the song.
So weird. But also...
Flupples.
Love it. And also remember, Raid Shadow Legends funded by Decepticon. Their microtransactions helped fund the
Transformers.
Transformers.
Shockwave's future projects.
Yeah, his products and the propaganda was because of Raid Shadow Legends.
Remember, 2021, Decepticons coming to Soul.
Exactly. And drones. All right, take it easy, guys. Bye.
Bye.